What's going on, my today people? My name is Wendy, and I really appreciate you all joining me yet again for another. Now, on today's entry into the time capsule, we talked a little bit about Elon Musk playing chicken with his companies again, Nas and the Paid in Full Foundation, Sam Altman and the OpenAI revolution, Diddy, of course, you can't really avoid that now, Mark Cuban with some questionable moves. We'll look a little bit into that, and really much more. Y'all just going to have to stay tuned for that. But y'all already know the price of admission. Before we start, dear future robots, anthrobots have experts hopeful for a future in medicine with the possibilities of more effective treatment plans and less malpractice. With that being said, how have anthrobots and nanotechnology helped to push the practice of medicine to more of an expertise? For my today people, anthrobots are tiny, self-assembling robots made from human tracheal cells by scientists at Tufts University and Harvard University's Wyss Institute. These robots are small enough to help heal damaged tissue and even neurons. This makes them a potential patient-specific therapeutic tool, and in the future, a democratized pathway to personalized medicine. Let's start the show. Ladies and gentlemen out there, I really hope y'all are living in your blessings. I really appreciate you all lending me your ears, for sure. This episode today was definitely a fun one. And like I said earlier, it definitely had an undertone of accountability. Y'all already see what I named the episode. We have two contributors with me on this episode, during Scrap Metal Media at least. And that was fun. It was a great time. One of them has no name. So when you hear that or when you don't hear that, don't fret. But he's cool. Definitely was a great addition to the show, made great contribution. He did at times, it was his first time on the show, so he did at times kind of move away from the microphone. He was still, you were still able to hear him. So, sorry about that. But it definitely was a great conversation. I really hope y'all learned something throughout the whole show, that is. Y'all already know the MO. I try not to stray away from the real reason for the show, and that is for us to all grow and, learn and have a little fun on that path. But I don't want to keep y'all too long because this episode is well over 2 hours. I really hope you all enjoy it. Definitely got some jewels in there. All right. And I'll go ahead and put that in a timestamp somewhere so y'all can skip ahead or whatever if y'all like. But I suggest just listening to the whole show in its natural flow. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all up too long, man. I got some big things coming towards the end of the year. And next year, we're starting off with a bang for sure. So definitely excited to be able to give y'all that, man. And 2024. Let's go right into my philosophy. This is my philosophy. Confidence in self. Let's just call it self-reliance. We have been seeing some examples of this in recent years from groups of people and even countries that are used to hand-me-downs and the promise of leg-ups. Some folk are tired of waiting. In the case of the Freedom Georgia initiative, 19 quote-unquote black families purchased nearly 100 acres of land near Macon to find peace, safety, and even a level of self-sufficiency, farming to live off the land. Venezuela has actually been stepping up lately to redraw lines that old Britain put in the sand nearly 100 years ago. This all led to what they believe has been an unfair share of oil-rich land with Guyana. Haiti, a country that has definitely seen its fair share of media-induced humiliation on the world stage. Y'all got TVs just like I do. But in reality and real time, they've actually been moving in relative silence towards self-reliance. In 2017, a daring plan to fight drought and feed the nation by diverting water from the infamous Massacre River at the Haiti and Dominican Republic borders had been met with a lot of resistance from DR. I'm not surprised at all. That old Spaniard blood, or blood from that old Spanish Empire, I should say, still runs deep. Money from mostly private backers and blood, sweat, and tears from skilled Haitian laborers and engineers are what have kept this plan a reality. Now, near the capital, that may be a slightly different story. With some gangs that are seemingly put in place to keep mayhem at an all-time high and governance non-existent, it's promising to even see the civilian population standing up, meeting violence where it lives because they understand that it's called confidence in self. And by the way, Hispaniola is definitely being used as a drug pass-through, but that's a story for another day. El Salvador built the Terrorism Containment Center in 2022 to address rampant crime and a lawless society run by gangs and drug cartels. Some of the latest figures estimate that at least 2% of the adult population in El Salvador now call this prison home. It's actually interesting to see a lot of these so-called human rights organizations having such an issue with the way that this sovereign country is moving, merely because this was literally known as the most dangerous country in the world, and I just don't remember them making such a stink about it. Apparently, El Salvador figured it out on their own, though. Now, if we can get a few other countries around the world to take a more authoritative approach to crime and punishment, we in America might see the number of migrants decrease over time. Well, that actually also needs to be a, how should I say this, an all-out war against the drug cartels worldwide. But hey, this is a complex and multi-pronged issue with solutions not yet realized. But I think what has been realized is confidence in self. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. 3 West African nations that have all been standing together in arms after recent military coups to remove puppet regimes in direct defiance to old school colonial power France. Those puppet presidents were allowing old lady France to continue its stripping of resources from these countries to line their pockets and support Europe while in turn impoverishing the local communities. In Niger, for example, France was reliant on 50% of Niger's uranium for nearly 70% of its nuclear power. Raw material was actually mined and exported out. And the even crazier part, which is why I chuckle, is that most of Niger doesn't even have a stable power grid or power at all in some places. Most of the population there became frustrated with this unrequited love and decided to grab the future by its horns, abolishing France, its people, and soon even the French currency. I swear I haven't seen this level of direct defiance since Muammar Gaddafi. The rumor of gold toilets notwithstanding. and for those that don't know who Gaddafi was, he was actually the leader of Libya who once stood up and proclaimed that Africa needs to have confidence in self and realize that with such a resource-rich environment, the once called Dark Continent should be the richest on the planet. Soon after his public statement on the world stage, his detractors were given megaphones, and he was given a one-way ticket to the upper room. Respectfully. ECOWAS. 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 If you don't know what that is, don't worry. I don't think it'll be around too much longer. Also, the current president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, he's really out here reminding me of Thomas Sankara or even Patrice Lumumba. I'm hoping this doesn't mean an assassination is coming, though. Rest in peace to those legends, or actually are more fitting. Ashe to the legends. Y'all, I do realize that some of the things I've said, some of these terms, names, and some of the references to history that I've shouted out, most of you may not be familiar with. Trust me, I thought about making this longer. I see and hear those comments from some of you that want me to go deeper on many topics, and don't worry, that will indeed happen eventually. But as for today, I really hope y'all understood the premise of this piece and moral of the story. Do I really need to say it? Just in case. Self-reliance. Or confidence in self. Scrap Metal Media. Welcome to Scrap Metal Media, where all news is two-faced. Take it or leave it. Yo, my today people, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, this is the illustrious Scrap Metal Media, and y'all already know my voice. Y'all already know who I be. But I do have, like usual lately, contributors on this segment. Again, one of them you will recognize the voice, you will.
Indeed,
but
indeed.
we have another one. I can't say his name, y'all. I can't say his name right now. All right, he's just gonna be a ninja this whole episode. It is what it is. But go ahead, y'all. Well, one of you. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? Happy to be back. Valle G in the building. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely appreciate having you back,
Indeed.
bro. We're looking to have a fun show today.
Yeah.
Definitely are. How you been, man? How's the week been for you? I mean, it's been a while since it's been a while since we had you on the show, bro. How's everything been with you, bro?
So far so good. Enjoyed the holidays.
Okay. Turkey Day. Okay.
Turkey Day was good.
Mhm.
The weather got a little crazy. Like we got cold for a couple of days, and now it's kind of like a little bit rainy again.
Mhm.
It's warm, but I don't know. It's just Florida in general. So,
Right.
but can't complain, man. Can't complain. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm in good health, good spirits.
That's salute. I definitely need to get cold again though. Like within
For it
that,
to really
like,
feel like fall or like
Yeah.
Christmas time.
yeah, I
Christmas
prefer. Yeah, I prefer the whole.
Well,
Like
just a little mix, right? Like just a little mix of just
There you go.
hoodie season.
I don't know, man.
I'm a hoodie season all day.
Yes.
Y'all,
I wanted to wear a hoodie. I got
wanted,
you know what I mean?
like I got the sweats on.
Yeah.
y'all do know y'all live in a state that, and I quote, considers itself the sunshine state, right?
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
You're
but
right.
We need a little bit of mix sometimes. That's
Right.
all we ask for. Just a
Right.
little bit of change.
Hey.
Climate change, right? That's what
There you go.
I don't know.
They're saying,
See,
right?
y'all say yes, that is what they're saying. So y'all say hoodie weather. I say like
Yeah.
that's the Midwest. I ain't with that. That's hoodie weather. Okay, then we'll tear their ass up.
Ah. Hey, but and y'all already heard this other voice. Like I said, he's the man with no name. Y'all seen Game of Thrones, like the dude with no face, right? This is the
Yeah.
man with
Yeah.
no name. But at least say what's up to the people, though, man.
All right, what's up, people? You know what I mean? It is what it is. Okay, it's just like this. We're just gonna go from here. We're just gonna keep it moving.
We're gonna call you No Name Gypsy or
Just
something.
like-
I don't
just-
know.
just what it is, like-
No name.
You know,
Hey.
Are you still considered a gypsy if you're a dude?
Good question.
I don't know.
Okay, so no name then. There's just no name.
I
or
mean,
something.
just roll with. No, I'm just saying. Like when you think of,
I think
the term
gypsies are
gypsy-
women. I think.
yeah, right. So I'm like,
no,
no.
the Gypsy King. Tyson Fury is the Gypsy King.
You're right.
yeah.
You get what I'm
No, I
saying?
think
You're absolutely
I
right.
think gypsy is
All
a
right, so it's unisex, interchangeable. I don't know.
Yeah, like I agree. I think it's just a class of people. Like it's not necessarily man or female.
All right, so it's
Right,
not predicated on gender.
It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
gendered. It's
Yeah.
not gendered.
It's neutral.
Yeah.
It's gender neutral. It is gender neutral.
That's
And we
right.
progressive out here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like did y'all hear about I guess to be starting this off with this, but Russia, their Supreme Court actually is banning everything LGBTQIA plus, man. What y'all feel about that? You got no name, so you can say whatever you want, bro.
Well, it's not even that about say what I want, but I think
Yeah.
what it is it's the ideology of it all. Like,
Okay.
what are you really trying to control?
Mhm.
Like, I know everybody has their different feelings of certain things.
Mhm.
Of like, all right, you may not want this to be predicated to this person or shown to this person, but I think at the end of the day, like there needs to be a mix. Like, where is that line? But when you live in a country that the guy controls everything regardless of what it is, so that's what you're going to get at the end of the day, and you just got to live with it. Right?
Yeah. With
but-
Putin, you got him, and then you have the oligarchs over there.
Mhm,
They
mhm.
kind of hold
Control
power
everything,
as well. But I've seen talks where people like Putin. They talk about the I don't want to say the brainwashing or manipulation, but
Strategist, maybe.
yeah, they talk about the power that the community, I guess, has worldwide, and I think it's him feeding into that or believing that wholeheartedly, clearly, or his government, because it's not just him; it's the Supreme Court, right? It ain't just him.
Right.
So they believe that this, I guess, way of life, or not even the way of life, but the umbrella, big letter LGBTQIA plus. They believe that it has a not so positive effect on society. And I don't know how things are over there. I don't know a gay Russian person. I haven't talked to them, so I don't know. So it's hard for me to judge how it is
So-
over
I'm
there.
pretty sure they exist though.
Of
Yeah.
course,
You know
they
what I
have-
mean?
of course. Salute,
they-
salute to the gay
they
Russian
def-
people out there. Salute.
They definitely exist, and they better not say nothing.
You think it's like that though? What? I don't
Come
know.
on,
I'm
man.
just,
And you said like, oh, the Supreme Court. It's not.
Yeah,
No,
right.
It's Putin. Like, let's just keep it a buck. What he wants is what he gets. He wanted his
gangster.
couple. That little homeboy came over there and did his thing and tried to uproar on
Prigozhin?
him. Yeah, tried to uproar on him.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, man, I got you, bro.
Yeah, we good.
No,
Yeah,
we
no,
We good.
no, we good.
Man, take this private jet, man. I got you.
I got you, bro.
You can-
No, not
Right.
first class. No, private.
I got that
Yeah.
private jet for you. And you good. Now we good. I'm telling you we good. And
Yeah.
you know
Come on,
buddy,
bro.
You know
me,
me.
right? You know me. And then no, we don't know you now.
Yeah,
You
we
have
don't.
no name.
Gone.
Just like me.
Gone.
Like,
Disappeared.
That's a
right,
fact.
exactly.
Never to be heard from.
Right,
That's a
exactly.
fact.
So I think that's what it is. He's controlling. He's like, no, I don't. This is the way I want to see things.
Right.
So I'm going to roll this out. So
Right.
when the Supreme Court, hey, you're going to do this.
Right.
So this is what you have to do.
Right.
Right. And I think that's where it is. It's like, I think that's him and his group. Just that's the way they feel. So that's the way they're going to roll with it.
And you know what I've and yes, I don't disagree with that at all. But you know what I have learned
Mhm.
as far as picking up things about history or societies now, government organizations, the 3-letter, 4-letter organizations or whatnot is one. We have this thing called not necessarily manipulation, but we definitely have this thing called manufactured consent. But we also have, I guess you can call it manipulation, bro. How things are pushed to certain people, programming, so to speak.
Yes.
So I take news here about other places with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
personally don't understand. My mind's going blank. What language do they speak over there in Russia? I mean, do we just call it Russian? Then we just call it Russian. Maybe it is called Russian, but
Yeah.
I don't speak Russian.
Yeah.
So even if I were to watch him speak about it and give he can give the best speech, I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But I would prefer to do that and understand fully before I
Pass judgment on it.
passionately pass judgment on it, whether it's wrong or right. Because gay is not a bad thing.
Mhm.
It's a thing. It's a part of humanity. It's been here forever. It is what it is.
I would say it's been around since what, Donna Symes? At this
Forever.
point?
Now,
Yeah.
LGBTQIA is not gay. That's something different.
It's an organization, right?
That
Yes.
to me, that's a lobbying organization.
So
They
you-
lobby the government. That's very different.
You could almost say it's a
Their own party.
or a company.
I like that.
Mhm.
But I think that's reality. I think that's closer to reality.
Corporation,
Yeah.
close to corporation.
Yeah.
Could become a
Very-
corporation.
They get things done.
Yeah, they
That's-
definitely
They get results.
That's a hell of
They
a lobby.
So this is what I say.
What's up?
I think it's kind of extreme. Just playing the other side of it.
Okay.
I think it's kind of extreme to say, hey, we're just going just downright outlaw this altogether.
Okay.
Like we're not going to allow you to do anything.
And again,
But I agree
that's
with
the little information we got.
right. But I agree with No-Name. Like if that's how they give it up over there, that's how they operate, that's how they run.
Right.
You know, Putin has established power and dominance.
Right.
He has respect of his people over
Right.
there, to my knowledge.
Right.
And
He does.
then now that I think about it, I'm trying to think of all the
64.
famous Russian
Bro.
non-politicians I can think of. I know you can think of a much because you're history buff.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, all right, who's the first Russian I can think of? I don't know, Andrei Karolinko speaks Russian, right? And that's a throwback. That's a throwback.
AK-47.
AK-47, right?
Yeah.
That's a throwback. And
Yeah.
I've never heard AK-47 say anything negative about Russia. When you talk, and I'm just saying, like,
No,
you won't really hear what
Yeah.
No-Name was saying. You won't really hear anybody,
You'll be stupid to do that, though.
right? But I'm just even the
little
even-
drop in
even-
your drink.
Look, I use
Drink up.
AK-47 as an example because I'm like, okay, he has an abundance of wealth. You know what I'm saying? Even the wealthiest of Russia, you would think that money has power, so or some level of power. So you have some level of security.
Mhm.
So you probably speak a little more freely. But even they ain't saying nothing. So it's like,
You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
yeah. So
Not even
You
that.
can't come back here.
Homie get love everywhere else but America, though. That's the funny part.
so
He gets love around the world for the most part. He gets love.
So you talked about manipulation and manufactured. Was the term manufactured? I've never heard that though, but I think that probably falls along the lines of like controlling the narrative, and I feel like that's just kind of what happens over here in relation to.
It happens everywhere, but
Yeah.
here
Here-
it's easier to happen because we are we've
Yeah,
been conditioned to not be curious, not be intelligent.
It's
Literally,
it's conditioned. It's
that's
conditioned.
a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
But yeah,
But it's very interesting, and it kind of reminds me of I spoke about it a few months back with It wasn't Nigeria. What country was it in Africa where they banned? They made a law, and it was called the anti. Dang, what was it? That was so long ago. It was anti LGBTQ law or something like that, and they created that, and it was essentially along the same lines of this Russian bill.
I guess let me ask you this. So, like within this bill, it doesn't say that you necessarily can't be gay, right?
Yeah, I don't
like. I don't think that's being. No. It's not actually persecuting anybody. So it's not saying like you
the promotion.
Okay, so hey, we just
know how they do display. How we promote it to kids and stuff.
Yeah, so hey, we just don't want this displayed everywhere. We don't want this on billboards.
Hey, kid, don't you think you're gay or trans?
Yeah. We don't want this on. We don't want this on television in our commercial breaks. We don't want this. We don't feel like it's a need to make this a week or a day or a month or okay, but it doesn't. But it doesn't mean you can't exist.
Right. I'm assuming that that's what it means. Honestly, I got to look more into it because it's hard to get that kind of news, especially it's brand new. I just seen it today. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. So it's something I definitely want to look more into. You know what I mean?
And for me, like
geopolitics.
Like we've talked to this before. I'm on the side of
what's up?
Let's put it to the kids. What is the harm of it? Right?
Of what?
Putting because we've talked about this, right?
Okay,
like putting the advertising to the kids because you're like, yo, don't put it in front of my child because there was like a streaming service, a movie came out, and you were like,
oh yes, I remember that,
right?
Yeah.
And
I don't like it,
and we were on the opposite sides of it. Of like, he was saying like, you know what, I don't like it putting on this streaming service, put this movie on that has this kind of coding to my child. I would, and then for me, my argument was I was playing, devil's advocate was, hey, what about all the years of us putting the society norm of a man and a woman together?
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
Well, how do we know? Because that's ingrained in us from society.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
I think that's real. I think that's like
yes, it is reality.
Wait, but
what I'm saying,
you don't think part of that's free will too?
Free will?
Yeah.
As in, like, if you put it in front of them and what they pick?
Yeah.
No, I think kids are blank slates for the most part. I think kids have genetic propensities, things they're predisposed to be more. Let's say that they're more predisposed to certain things based on the genetics that you pass down. Like if you were an athlete, if you and your wife were an athlete, most likely your child is going to have that potential. You know what I'm saying? They get a higher chance.
Yeah.
And you don't want my idea on this is way out because I believe that at the moment of conception, what you feel, what you are, what you're leaning towards, what you are consuming, your child's going to have. They're going to be predisposed to whatever that is. So if you're depressed for some reason, and that's when the jackpot hits the egg. You probably gonna have a kid that deals with those parts. If you on drugs or whatever, that's just a thought. That's a thought I had. Honestly,
more likely.
No science has proven that. I ain't hear that nowhere. No.
Yeah, that's definitely more likely. But I think too is to.
So I don't think it's free will. Is what I'm saying. I think everything is conditional.
Well,
when you're talking about a kid,
I kind of lean towards that because, go ahead. Because if you think of like a child, right, like a human being, when you have the emotions or anything like that, you growing up, you will be attracted to a specific. Like that doesn't have to. If I never watched any X-rated movie or anything like that, or seen anybody, I know from me, I see a female, I'm gonna be like, yo, yes, right. There's gonna be a reaction.
Hell yeah, because that's natural for me.
Right.
But some people have different chemicals than you.
So when I say free will,
can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Do you remember the first moment that you felt that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I do too.
I was in kindergarten.
I'm just in kindergarten. All I'm saying is that's not the same. That's not the same for everybody. Though.
No, it's not. Wired different.
It's definitely not the same. But I think that's what I mean by, as what you said, free will, right?
Yeah.
The free will is, all right, I'm gonna feel this way regardless of what I'm seeing. Right? It's in me, and that's why if you hear a lot of LGBTQ, like, I'm gonna mess up the name. It's too.
Sorry, hey, that's disrespectful, sir. Show some respect.
I'm sorry. I partner, right? Like I stand with them. Anyway, what I'm saying is that if you listen to some of their stories, they're saying, "Hey, it's regardless of whatever I saw.
Yeah,
I felt this way.
Yeah."
So to Valle's point of free will, it's regardless of what we show them. If our kid is going to swing that way, they're going to do it regardless.
Hey, how much of that is the effect of, yo, I already got this car, so it's the best car in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already in this gang or this group or this fraternity or this, so it's the best one. I'm already here, bro.
I don't.
I mean, how much of that is that?
I don't think that.
That's an effect.
I'm not saying it's not, but I don't think that's you can correlate that with kids, man.
Yeah,
because they like
mind
you said,
we're talking about kids
blank,
and sexuality. That's what
blank,
we're talking about, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying
is
you with a child, and we're gonna put a button on this, right? Like
we have to.
We got a long list, right? if your child, whatever you do to train them in anything, like I'm gonna take it off sexuality, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you say educationally wise, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna play sports, whatever the child does or draws to is what they're gonna put the most energy in.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact,
right? So I think
exposure matters, though, right?
Exposure.
If you're
does
the parent,
matter.
you give them these sports.
Exposure does.
If he
matter.
never plays soccer with me, he ain't gonna be into soccer because he never played soccer.
But the feeling to be attracted to soccer and keep it going afterwards has to become within them.
Yes, but they first have to be introduced to soccer.
Yes, they do. But what I'm saying is, if you introduce them to, let's go back to the sexuality. If you introduce them to same sex, if it's not within them, I don't think they're going to continue.
No, you're absolutely right. I 100% agree.
So that's what I mean.
I think we're saying the same thing.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of that streaming service putting in front of my child, if it's not within them, they're not going to get to it.
That's a fact.
So
that's very true.
Yeah,
and I do agree with that. And I think a lot of it, if we're just gonna be straight up, which like I like to be, but I think a lot of it is honestly just my discomfort with it being pushed out in that manner.
Yeah,
like it's weird for me to see. I didn't grow up like that.
Yeah,
so it's a little like disconcerting even to think about it. Just put some thought to it and be like, oh, this is a family company, right? Like family.
Yeah,
and they're pushing these messages out to little kids essentially just because the adult feels that certain way. And there's a video that recently came out where a Disney executive was on some kind of
panel.
No, it wasn't even a panel. She was on Zoom. She was on a Zoom, and she was talking about programming and the history of the network and saying like, oh yeah, we've had LGBTQ, we've had representation as far as characters for the longest, but we don't have too many lead characters. So she started off by saying, and check how weird this is. She started off by saying, I have two kids that are a part of the community. I have one kids that is trans, and then I have another kid that is pansexual. She's showing them a lot of soccer, dog. She's bringing just to use the metaphor from before. She's showing them a lot of soccer. You know how rare it is to have one kid that deals with that, and you got two, and now you're the one saying, "Oh yeah, we got to make sure we." It's a weird
because they're coming from
thing
a point
that's
of
happening, bro.
They're coming from an emotional standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Like that they're connecting to it. It's like if I have a representation of my work, right, and I want it to represent me, I would like my children to represent the work, so they can say, "Hey, this is what my parent did," and they can draw emotional.
It's much harder too, yeah.
Right, like you know what I'm saying. So that's the aspect of it. But we can move on. I know on the topic of banning, there was something else that got banned, right?
Which one was that?
New Zealand.
Oh yeah, no, they actually tried.
They reversed it. They reversed it.
That's right.
They rolled it back.
They reversed it.
So this is the proposed New Zealand smoking ban. In New Zealand, they put up in their parliament situation to actually ban smoking for anybody under the birth year of 2008, because they had a plan to create.
What's the math on that though? If you were born in 2008, how old are you right now,
bro?
I mean, because they had to do it for a reason, right?
What's that? 16? No. 14? What is that? Right now.
Right now, it's
born in 2008.
Yeah, if you were born in 2008. If you were born in 2000, what? You're
14?
I would think you're 22, 23. We're in 2023.
We're in 2023.
2023, right? You're born in the year 2000.
16,
clearly, math is not our.
That's like
not a strong
14.
suit.
Is that 14 years? Yeah,
15.
15.
15.
See, my math is good. My math is good. Thank you. My math is good. Don't try my math.
Keep the 5.
Don't try my math.
Carry the 3. The 2. Drop the 3.
But yes.
So 15 years old. So we don't want 15-year-olds.
I thought that was they wanted to create a smokeless generation. They wanted to start we were talking about manipulation. They essentially wanted to start the programming to create a society that wasn't into smoking like that. Because, we came into it because of movies, TV shows. Oh, it's cool to blow the smoke.
I mean, yeah, but even what was it, like the 40s or 30s? They had ads promoting that cigarettes were healthy.
Of course, for women, this is how you lose weight. That was a thing. That was a literal thing.
I think it still is.
I don't know. I don't know, dog.
I say that.
I don't know.
There's some people that still do it. Still participate.
But I wouldn't be surprised
for weight loss.
I would not be surprised.
It got reversed because of money.
Absolutely.
Tobacco is big money, and it's old money.
They said they had what $1 billion?
And it's long money.
Taxes.
No, well, it's not even that. I think they looked at it was like, because I did some research, and it was like the number one cause of death in New Zealand is
preventable death
is cancer, all types, right? I think they looked at the number and says, how much are we really gonna save? Like, you know what I'm saying, like that. And then they looked, because if you read, I don't know if you read like fully, what they did now is, so the new is they're increasing the taxes
on cigarettes.
On cigarettes.
So any tobacco products that you buy, we taxing you on it.
So for kids at that age, so it flopped. So now we're not even good. Instead of you can buy it now,
but it's going to cost you more money.
It's going to cost you more money,
which means we make more money.
Yeah,
exactly,
we make more money. Exactly.
I mean, I'm gonna say this: if I'm not an economics major, but I did take a couple economics courses. To No Name's point, if you stack it up, hey, this is how many lives we save, and this is the cost of living, and this is the cost of health insurance, versus this is how many people are dying from cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer, whatever, and we're still getting some money off of this because we're not really curing them, we're just treating them, right? So this is some money that we'll have incurring for a period of time. Which number is bigger?
Bro, they really asked themselves, how much is 5,000 lives really worth? Because I believe that's how many people they said died,
and that's just a math equation.
It's
that's what that is.
I can't remember who said it, but there's a saying that says one death is a tragedy, but 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic or something like that. Dang, it wasn't Churchill. Who was it? I can't remember, but it was some historical person that made that statement.
And they used to run that in these the don't smoke ads back in the day. That same quote. I remember that.
Which is freaking crazy, dog.
Yeah.
But sticking to New Zealand right quick before we go on our first non-commercial break. Did y'all hear about this John Oliver dude and the New Zealand bird of the century?
Nah,
bro.
I love John Oliver, but I didn't see that.
Bird of the century.
This man has. I didn't. Yeah, they have this thing called in New Zealand. Every year they vote for a bird, and they call it the bird of the century. And the what was the bird this year called? The Chippy Chaka, something like that. Chippy Chaka.
I could probably figure what he did.
It's a crazy, bro. This man put on a costume. He crashed the website that they used for the voting. Because he was promoting this bird the whole freaking.
He does this all the time.
I didn't know.
He does this all the time. Yo,
I never seen John Oliver's thing.
His hive is
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So he's on HBO. He's a talk show host.
Yeah.
He's super funny.
Right.
So the last time he does this stuff all the time, like to get engagement.
That's power right there.
It's super power. So he lobbied to a city in Connecticut to have their he mentioned something about Connecticut, how trash they are, like how crap they are.
Ouch.
So they went at him on social media and they were like, yo, you can't talk about Connecticut like that, blah 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 blah. He lobbied to have the largest refinery shit plant in Connecticut to be named after him.
No.
They did it. They did it. They did it. He does this stuff all the time.
Wow, that's
like
power.
Like just super engagement. But it's the power of HBO. Time Warner.
Right.
Like it's that's
power. That's power.
That backing. You know what I mean? So
shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Shout out to him. But let's see. I feel like we've been talking about a lot of geopolitics, things going on in other countries, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be remiss if we didn't mention, at least for a brief time, Henry Kissinger, who is an architect of a lot of geopolitics, to a lot of people's chagrin, because his theory doesn't shine kindly on this dude. Did y'all see anything about that? I mean, what y'all think about this old dude dying? A lot of people will call him evil, but I ain't dancing on people's graves. It is what it is. He did what he did. And 100 years old.
But wait, what exactly did he do?
His geopolitics, he was a strategist pretty much, right?
Okay.
And he was a Secretary of State. So the geopolitics that he actually laid down laid waste to a lot of different countries, literally. caused a lot of issues. Stuff he did in Cambodia, leading to wars, millions of people dying, all from his mind.
So massive genocide.
I don't know if you call it genocide, but massive death.
He was very strategic in planning the route of how the United States was going to conquer certain entities outside of the United States. Right. Like so, the most recent one was he was the architect behind that helped President Bush II. That's right.
Yeah.
And for what was that? You were Iraq, right? So how architect. So it was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna manipulate this. This is how we're gonna do everything. So he's like the one sitting, like, all right, tell this person that, like, we're gonna move him from this side. We're gonna move him from this side. This is how we're gonna go. We're gonna talk to this person. We're gonna talk to that person. This is how we get inside the country. So he takes it. It's not just war. Like, we're just gonna run. He's just gonna run in. No, he's like, we need to get this person on our pocket. We need to get this person, and so on and so forth.
So he wasn't the person. So because he was a strategist, within all that, it doesn't sound like he ever pulled a trigger. He's just responsible for triggers being pulled. But
I think he was more so just not even the war side. I think he was the side that really makes things run.
Bro,
right?
Yes, Dick Cheney before Dick Cheney.
Yeah, look, like that aspect.
This guy made corporations and American oligarchs wealthy while simultaneously morally bankrupting this country and our image across seas. How other countries see us is he's partially responsible for that, and not many countries see us in some positive light. I mean, they you guys disagree, but we did a lot, and it's because of men like him.
But wait.
What's up?
I don't know.
What's up?
I don't think it's as easy as that.
It's not. That's the fun part, though.
I think it's got to be a little more nuanced because, like, everyone's a job, man. And I mean, I get it. If you're the best strategist on the planet, if this country doesn't use you, then somebody else is going to do the same. So it's not like he's doing it. Like, to me, that just his job. Yeah, to me, that's hold on. I hate to say it. To me, that sounds like somebody that performed their job to the highest degree.
Okay, you know what? And
you did a damn good job.
Look, some people are celebrating he's dead, but some people are actually celebrating his life. It's no different than Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson, you think he's a good guy? Andrew Jackson, you think he's a good guy? This man got a cities named after him.
It's not as simple.
No,
as
he's a legend, though. He's
I get it.
Minorities think poorly upon him.
Of course, and I'm not saying that they're unjustified in that.
But the same thing you're saying. That's
but I don't think it's as easy as good and bad.
Oh, you're right. And I'm not saying that. You know me better now.
I think it's just whether it's a positive legacy or not, it's still legacy.
Yeah. No, he definitely. It's like. I'm one of those people that look at something. It's like, why are you blaming me? If I can get hired to do a damn job, I'm gonna do my job.
But that ain't the secretary. The Secretary of State's job isn't to be that shiesty. It's to handle business and look out for the country. See, but he was extra shiesty, dog.
So you feel like what? Why do you think he was shiesty?
He's like Zygmunt Brzezinski.
I did everything else. I'm sorry. I was that dude. That's why
he enriched his friends and his people. It's no different than Dick Cheney. It's the same thing as Dick Cheney. Yeah. He was Dick Cheney before Dick Cheney. He's the reason why Dick Cheney exists.
I'm gonna tell you word for it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. He no different. Zygmunt Brzezinski is the guy that's partly responsible for the Middle East being in shambles like they are. Zygmunt Brzezinski, his and he was a strategist. He wasn't even he wasn't Secretary of State or nothing like that, but he was who they went to when they needed something done. He was that kind of brilliant mind. And this is why I said a few episodes ago, we don't have General MacArthur's anymore in America. We don't have those kind of brilliant minds that are just military men or like, oh, I'm just let's stick the course. I'm gonna plan this and it's gonna work. We don't have that anymore, dog. Which explains why we're losing in a lot of different fronts. From my perspective, but like Zygmunt Brzezinski, if it wasn't for what he was doing in say Afghanistan, and this was when the Cold War was going on, which I still think is going on, but this was around that time. If he wasn't doing the things that he was doing, strategizing, coming up with, we'd never have Osama bin Laden.
Does Brzezinski? Does he have a boss?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so he has somebody he reports to, right?
Yeah.
So like, he's not just me. He's not
high level CIA.
I know. I understand that. Even with this, like, they have somebody they report to. So
absolutely,
are they making important decisions? Yes, but they're not the ones saying, "Hey, I want." Somebody is saying, "Hey, I want to go take this country over." I need you to figure out how to do that.
Bingo.
If you can't do that, if you can't figure out how to do that, I want to get somebody else. So somebody's gonna figure out how to do it.
Right. All right. Hey, so what you say? Shout out to Henry Kissinger.
No, I'm not saying you got to build. I'm not saying you got to build no monuments.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, leave it at that.
Thoughts and prayers. Like I said, I don't dance on graves, dog.
Nope.
I never do that. I ain't celebrating death.
I'm not gonna celebrate it. I'm not gonna honor it either. I'm gonna say, hey, I wish you and your family well, and that's it.
Yeah.
Hey man, hey, like you just said, man. Thoughts and prayers, whatever. Shout out. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Wherever he is. I don't know. Okay, so since we are doing
this is definitely messed up, man.
it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But we are talking a bit a lot of international news right now, so I'm not gonna really break that. Sweden, they have been in the news recently, right? And I didn't know they got down like this. I'm actually impressed, right? So Tesla, Elon Musk.
Yeah,
is apparently suing
Phony Stark.
Phony, I like that. I haven't heard that.
That's the newest one I heard. Phony Stark.
It
made me chuckle too.
I like that. But he's deciding to actually sue the country of Sweden.
Yeah.
All right. On the count of them standing up for themselves. Right. Most of the country over there is collective bargaining. They take part in collective bargaining. They believe in taking care of people, doing things for us.
Yeah, in their education system,
they are fired. They're dope over there, and it's crazy because they come from their ancestors are some of the worst.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah!
I know they have super low crime rates, and a guy was talking to me the other day. He's from Cape Verde. He was talking to me about Sweden and how great it's
dope.
Yeah,
it's dope. But that's a lot of those like Nordic type and those like early European type places. Yeah, they like that. The ones that weren't occupied with like world domination. Okay. They but like I said, they're more focused on collective bargaining over there, and famously Tesla don't do that.
Yes,
they don't operate like that.
Really?
Elon don't play.
They don't unions or anything like that.
Nah. Elon don't play. Elon don't play. So
he wouldn't be the first company. So.
Right. So the people over there, the workers, literally stopped cleaning Tesla showrooms. Right. They stopped. They stopped on. I don't think manufacturing as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what they did was they stopped. So the first issue was the mechanics. They're like, hey, we need some better pay or whatever. And then Tesla was like, no.
Hey, you guys are getting what you're getting. Continue the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so then what next happened was when they weren't getting anywhere, you that run the port. That offloads the Teslas, you were like, "Oh, you ain't paying the mechanics? Bet. I ain't taking your off the port anymore.
I ain't taking your cars.
I ain't taking your cars off the port anymore." Then to your point, cleaning the showrooms. Oh, you ain't paying the port. You ain't paying the mechanics. All right, I'm standing with them now.
That's gangster.
I'm not cleaning anymore. So everybody that supports some type of Tesla. Entity, whether that's cleaning or ports, or they stopped work.
The repairmen for the charging stations stopped working. That's so gangster. It reminds me. You know what it reminds me of too? The Montgomery bus boycotts.
Yeah,
like they don't teach you in school that they were so successful that the city sued the organizers of the bus boycott. That's how well it was going. But they don't want you to know that because they don't want you to believe or know or understand, I should say, that all you gotta do is come together.
Yep.
But shout out to Sweden.
I would love to see how that plays out.
Oh, I'm keeping up with it, bro.
Because I think you don't have any other choice, man. Just fold. You're not gonna fly a whole bunch of staff and employees in from other places now.
That ain't happening.
And they're not gonna get up in that country and then suddenly start running your factory or your manufacturing area again. Like it's just go ahead and pay the people what they owe.
I wouldn't be surprised he pulls out.
I'm about to say,
or you know what? Let me just take my ball and go play ball somewhere else.
You called him Phony Stark. Like I've been calling him Lex Luthor for like years. Straight up. I mean, And you seen him lately. He said, "Go F yourself," right?
Lex Luthor, you'd be a generous man.
Yeah.
That's a title for somebody.
He's Lex Luthor.
You truly got.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna accept that what you said last time. He's a little too geeky to be.
Yeah, he can't be.
You're right. You're right.
Luthor has swag.
I'm gonna stop saying that from this day forward. You're right. Luthor was cool.
That's generous.
You're right. Elon's not cool, bro. Even when he was saying "Go F yourself," he was like, "Bro, you about to? What's wrong with you, bro?"
He got his little fancy motorcycle jacket and thought he was gonna go on that network and shake the world.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. He hung out with Kanye for a weekend and he started eating the elk meat that Joe Rogan pulled out the freezer for him. And ever since he started doing that, he different. Remember when he used to be like the darling of the Democrats? Now he's all of a sudden, like talking about birth rate, the European birth rate, and all this kind of stuff. This man is wild. He's cussing out Disney CEOs, bro.
Yeah, him and Iger. Been that way, but now he has the money to act that way.
But he always had money.
He didn't before. Yeah, because I'm about to say he bought Twitter.
He started hanging out with the cool kids, bro.
That's what I'm saying. The money afforded him to get that. You were rich, but he went from a different stratosphere, right? Like being rich. It's like, okay, perfect example. Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye had money, right? But as soon as he got that Adidas deal, we saw a different Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
He was already off after his mom. But when he got the Adidas deal, because you know what the Adidas deal wasn't predicated on? It wasn't predicated on my performance. Of I had to go record an album.
Right.
I had to go do a show.
Right.
So if for the people out there that don't really know, Kanye is all about the art. So he's an artiste. He will sell to make something successful. He will sell it.
Yeah.
Meaning, so all of the lights, very great song, right? That all of the samples, to get them cleared, you have to clear a sample. If anybody don't look it up, to reputable sites. They said to him, like, hey, you can't clear that unless we want 100% of the song. He's like, bet. He signed away 100%
of all the lights
of songs, multiple songs. All of lights is just an example. He does this all the time, right? And DJ Toomp even talked about one time that he tried to sign away rights to a song, and DJ Toomp was like, "What are you crazy? This is how I eat, right?" And he signed away the song, so he doesn't make any money off of residuals. So the influx of the Yeezy brand, because he got a better deal from Adidas than Nike, that's an influx of money where my shoes are performing. I got the streets hot. So that is like the last release netted him close to $100 million. Not 100, but close to $100 million off of that one release. That's straight cash. You ain't breaking it down with nobody.
Now,
so that's what put him in a different stratosphere to start talking crazy. What I'm saying is from that money aspect, and the same thing with Elon.
FU money.
To that FU
That's
money.
a real thing.
Once you get to that FU money, it's like really FU. Hence, you see him on the TV, right? It's like
he's Hollywood now. I feel like he moved to Los Angeles, and he's
in Texas.
Yeah, he's in Texas.
He's in Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in Texas.
And going back to the Kanye thing, right quick. A lot of that also is. So what if I give up the rights to this music? We in the streaming era. I'm not making that. Ain't when I go to the show, I'm gonna hit you over the head though.
Yes,
this show is gonna hit you over the head. Any contracts hitting you over the head.
I bring that up as a point where he didn't have real money coming in. He didn't. If he's not doing a show, he has no money coming in because there's no residuals.
Yeah.
Even if it's streaming or not, he has no money coming in.
Yeah.
So when my release over a weekend, Adidas got to send me a check within 30 days of close to 100 million.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's
conversation is different.
The conversation is a little bit different.
Right.
And
but that's FU money. That's the thing.
And think about every Yeezy release since.
Yeah.
Right. And he's getting somewhere in that 30 to 40 to $50 million bag every time. So that becomes the FU money. And then he blows it and does what he does. But anyway.
Shout out Kanye West, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Kanye West.
But I to your point with the Elon Musk, I completely agree from that aspect of he's in that rich club FU money, and he's saying all of this. He's saying this now, but as soon as he goes behind closed doors, all the people a part of X are going to say, "What the hell are you doing?"
Phony Stark.
I don't think he cares much about that, dog. I'm telling you, it's the elk meat. I'm telling you, I don't think he cares much about that
until it starts to hit his bottom line. You know why he doesn't care?
Yeah.
Because of SpaceX.
Bro, they're saying that he can probably, if he wanted to, carry X on his own in his, as far as his other
he overpaid.
That's because of SpaceX.
He did overpay, and he lost a lot on that.
Lost a lot.
Tesla truck just came out. I mean, we'll see how that does, but
it's going to blow.
It's
going to blow. I'm telling you, SpaceX is and Tesla.
Have they already overtaken NASA? I know they were kind of.
NASA uses them. NASA pays them.
It's even more crazy now.
so NASA uses them, right? NASA uses them. A lot of other providers that are trying to put stuff in space use them too. So like Descent.
Why would I use my stuff? I'm gonna use yours.
Use
just
yours.
money. That's it.
So
ones
like,
and zeros.
Example. So like when DirecTV was really popular, right? Mm-hmm. Satellite TV.
Yeah.
You need to get it into space. That's $100 million.
Right.
So you just paid Tesla, SpaceX $100 million just to bring my
put it up there,
and they're bringing multiple satellites.
Right.
Oh, AT&T needs a satellite up
big
there.
Big payload.
Blah 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 needs a satellite up there. Blah blah blah. So one ship can have, depending on the payload, can have multiple satellites or multiple equipment that needs to go into space, and then everybody is paying.
Right.
Wow.
And then I know some people in the industry, and they're like, what he's doing is similar to the engineers and team that he has to what they're doing from a NASA standpoint. They're pushing back because they don't have the restrictions of the government of like, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. So like his biggest thing is the reusage of the booster rockets, where it comes back and lands. So they don't. So when NASA does it, it drops into the water, and then you got to build another one.
One just exploded the other day,
right?
Or the other week, yeah.
So it comes down and lands. So they get to reuse it again. So now they don't even need to buy another one. So it's stuff like that. Like, all right, why are we gonna just let it drop in the water and then we got to buy another one?
Right.
Why don't we put some technology in it so it can re-land itself and then we could use it again?
And you've seen the successful landings, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had one that, kind of same on topic, but it was just, I thought it was interesting, right? They had one the other day. Probably like 2 weeks ago now. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it exploded. And instead of saying exploded, the reporter said spontaneous disassembly.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, so he paying them to not say explode.
I thought you were going to say combustion, but okay.
Spontaneous disassembly. I'm like, what?
They all clapped when it did it.
Yeah.
They all clapped because they knew it was going to spontaneous disassemble based off of the engineering. They just needed to know what the tolerance was of how far it would get into space.
Right.
So they're like, all right, it's going to blow up. But if it makes it 200 feet, we're good. Because now we know the materials that we're using need to be. We need to switch it out to something stronger to get it further. So they're basically it's a sacrificial land. It's like when they're like with a car, they run it into a wall to see where
the impact.
Testing.
It's
literally
just testing. It's sitting in testing. So that's but that's where it is. And they're
spontaneous.
They're 100% private.
So
100% private.
Yeah, SpaceX is 100% private.
So, bruh, we're talking about spontaneous disassembly. Is he spontaneously trying to disassemble X? So, what the hell's going on with that, bruh? What's going on? Why is he doing this?
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, piece by piece.
Slowly but surely, I think he's going to do that, make it his own, and eventually have to let it go.
I mean, remember, it was like the one platform where you could really get away with openly criticizing anything. Like,
well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
Because from that's the old Twitter era, and from my understanding,
the old tweets get people in trouble.
Right, bingo. But from my understanding is they switched at one point and started being a little too, shutting people up, and that's why Elon. That's what motivated Elon to purchase it from Jack Dorsey.
Yep.
But people are criticizing Elon now because he stood on free speech. Say what you want.
Yeah, he's doing
and now he's censoring people because of Israel.
Left and right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, not even that. When you talk bad about him, you get blocked.
True.
Yeah.
What they call that other thing they do? Ghost. When they kind of and you can't tell they're doing it. Damn, what is it called?
They'll ghost block you, like
you know what I'm talking about. It's a phrase for that when they're not pushing your stuff out. It's a
ghost ban,
ghost
something blacklisted. I can't remember. Like y'all know out there. Y'all know. Yeah. But I thought that was pretty interesting. It seems like, damn, bro, you really don't care. Like, what's going on with this dude?
You know what another thing too is, it could be a tax write-off.
That's fair.
Right, I have a failing business.
I'm gonna let the government know I lost $8 billion on this shit.
Right, like you get what I'm saying. So I need a loss on my books.
Interesting. I need a loss.
I need a loss on my. I need a loss on my books. You're making too much revenue
over here. Yeah,
over here. You
offset this.
Right. You know what I mean? We don't know what the motivation is. The motivation is like, I can have this toy. and it can be a benefit at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. You know
That's
what I'm
fair.
saying? So
That's
that's how I kind of look at it. Right. You know, I'm a Tesla supporter in a certain way, right? And from
just a supporter,
right? Like
So,
from
my dog drive a Tesla. You heard?
right? Like
Talk nice. Talk to me nice.
Talk
right?
different.
well, the thing too is like because it is like I like technology, right? Like
Right,
I like technology. I like
right,
to see that like the Cybertruck, like you mentioned,
Mhm.
was a release event yesterday,
Mhm.
and I have my reservation in. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get one when it comes out. when my reservation number
My
comes
dog say
up,
100 shots. Who? I'm bulletproof.
right? Right, and from that aspect of it, it's just like
Yeah.
you know what it is. So.
Right. All right. So
Elon, you just couldn't buy a sports team like everyone else.
that might be it. But I don't think he's really
That's
into
boring.
sports though.
Probably not.
That's
Yeah.
boring. Oh,
He got too much money for that.
that's-
We'll get there. We'll get there. So
Right.
before
Segue.
we do get there, we're gonna take our first non-commercial break. But not straying too far from Elon, who I believe is somebody the tech industry thought was gonna be Jesus, to somebody that might be Jesus of the tech industry, Sam Altman. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about him and the news right when we come back. All right. Yeah.
No, what they're gonna look at is like how many cars do we really sell over here? I bet what's the closest country we can import the car? That's a person can buy the car from to get it here. That's what
Makes sense in my mind.
Yeah, so
And we are back from our non-commercial break. Advertisers, are you listening? Just making sure, you hit your boy up. Y'all got my email, my phone number, all that. So we left off on Sam Altman. All right. And for those that don't know who Sam Altman is, he was the one of the heads, actually, of OpenAI, which is the company that created ChatGPT. If you haven't used it yet, what are you doing? Like, you probably have a crazy resume that's not good at all. You need to get on ChatGPT if you're not using it. Salute. But he was actually ousted by the board a few weeks ago. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that, too. Almost 3 weeks now.
Right around November
17th,
18th.
Right.
17, 18.
Right. So the board of OpenAI actually ousted him. Like, and they didn't really give a real reason outside of we're not confident in him anymore for some strange reason.
Hold on. They said
What's up?
he had not been a consistent candidate with them, and they had lost confidence in his ability to lead the OpenAI board. So
Translation: we don't think we can control you.
it could be that,
You ain't Tesla. You ain't Elon.
or
That's what they said.
we don't believe in you.
Which is wild. There's no way that's true. Because again, we saw what happened. His people stood up. If he ain't here, we ain't here.
The OpenAI
12
staff
disciples.
threatened to quit and join Sam Altman at Microsoft unless the board.
Yeah. And what they did, they tucked their tails, bro. They tucked the proverbial tails. Shout out to him. He must be Jesus of the tech industry for real.
November 22nd, he was back.
What it was, 2 weeks? It was 2 weeks, right? Something like that. Less than
4 days.
less than a week, bro. That's bruh, power.
How I look at it. No, I think it's money.
How so? Go ahead.
All right, I think it's money, right?
Mhm.
So I like I told you, I did my research, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what ended up happening was he got ousted. The board did it with his. It was a couple people on the board that didn't like him.
Okay.
A couple of people on the board because right after he got ousted, he signed with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Signed with Microsoft.
He's a
So
hot
they're
commodity, bro.
Yeah,
so
He wasn't about to be
signed-
jobless.
No.
It was too close. What I'm saying, it was real. I got fired on this day and got hired over here, but I'm not a part of. It was a partnership. I'm now going to be heading up the AI development of Microsoft.
Oh no! Yeah,
right.
you can't
So
let that happen.
was in the-
wait. He
I
knows
feel like
things.
that-
He knows
Yeah.
things.
A deal like that doesn't happen in 2 days. Is what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
right?
That's a fact. That's a
So-
fact. That's a fact.
Right after he gets signed, the two people that was against him step down.
Hey.
Step down. Right?
And
then,
go ahead.
then he gets called back
Facts.
with the ability to pick the new board.
Gangster.
Oh wow!
Right? Brought in his new
Hey,
people.
I want my. This is
Right?
my assistant coach.
Yeah.
This is my trainer.
Mhm.
The next day, Microsoft is now on the board.
Gangster.
Wow.
Gangster.
So what ended up happening was you just messed up
Yeah.
the Microsoft deal.
Yeah.
What are you guys? What the board was like? What are you doing?
Well, it's hard to disagree with that, but one quotient or one quotient in this whole gumbo that I think we're not paying too much attention to is the fact that the people stood up and the people
followed.
They're the ones that said, if you don't bring him back, it wasn't like a situation where they're like, hey, we're going to lose too much money. The workers, they stood up and said, hey, and also with the Microsoft part, right? I just signed with Microsoft. I really want to be here, but I signed with Microsoft because I don't have a job right now and I want to be working in the field because I'm the Jesus of AI. Now we have to make this. I got to make y'all whole because y'all just invested this much in me and I still want to work with y'all. I want to help. So how about y'all come over here? That's what I think. I think that's more. I think that more so happened.
So he was going to take. He was going to take that staff with him
over here.
No,
Microsoft.
So I don't. From what I know about business, a deal like that is not done that quickly. Of course not. Yeah. Right. I think that deal was in the works because what I read was he was still allowed to be at OpenAI. Right. He was still allowed to be with part of that company. Right. So it was always a partnership. It wasn't like you are now working with me. No, you're not a Microsoft employee. Right. You are a partner that is heading up this development aspect of my division of my company. Boom, boom. So you saying that the workers stood up, they're going to leave, doesn't mean anything to OpenAI. It's the same thing. It means
a lot though. I think it means a lot because if we're saying we're going to leave and go with the comp, because Microsoft has Bard, is it? I can't remember
the only thing that would stop them is contracts. Is whatever their contract says.
That's fair,
right? So that from that aspect, because when you're at that high level, you don't have it's not no salary position. It's all contracts.
It's not.
It's all contracts.
Yeah,
it's for the most part. For the most part, right? So for them saying that, we're gonna leave, word,
you avoid this contract.
Look at this. And these are highly
you can't work for 2 years.
These are highly skilled people.
Yeah, exactly.
This ain't like the regular person that's cleaning the toilet. This is a highly skilled position. These are highly skilled.
The regular person.
Y'all used ChatGPT before. These are highly. You ain't using it? Yeah, man. These are highly skilled people that are programmers.
I've seen others use it. I haven't had the pleasure of using it yet.
Yeah,
but I've seen what it can do.
Yeah, I've played with it before. Obviously, this show is called Dear Future Robot, so you already know I've played with it a bit.
But it's pretty on brand.
Yeah, it's pretty on brand. I was actually excited when it first came out because technology is that's what we do as human beings. We create technology, but I actually enjoy Sam Altman so far. I mean, more can come out about him personally, and he could be some weirdo. But so far, I like what I'm seeing from the guy, and somebody who supported like that is something got to be good about him, right? Something got to be good, and I think it's revolutionary. Like, I think what they're doing with the UI for ChatGPT and just kind of leading that industry, I think that's amazing. And I love it. And when you have other people from other companies saying, oh, stuff like this is terrible, let's not do it. I don't like that because I think they just want to keep it for themselves and they don't want to kind of cut that gap between the haves and the have-nots. Because if everybody got AI, I can make my resume look just like yours. I can create contracts. I can do all that. I can make anything sound litigious that I want. I don't think those people up there want that.
No, of course
Sam
not.
Altman stands for keeping it or democratizing it. And
on the surface,
on the surface, yes, we don't know, but we don't know him. You know what I mean? We don't know him personally. But from what he's been standing on, you know what I mean, like T.I.'s son say, standing on business. You know what I mean?
You got mollywop. Go ahead.
Right. I like what I see so far. Now we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. All right. Now, you guys have anything else you want to add about Sam Altman or the OpenAI, ChatGPT, anything like that? Okay. So we're going to move on from one person who stepped down to another. Okay. Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
And I really want to know because there's the official story, right? And for those out there that don't know, my Today people, Mark Cuban, who is the most notably known as, I think now Shark Tank maybe, but he's also owner of the Dallas Mavericks, right?
He was on Shark Tank for 16 seasons.
Yeah,
so I
isn't he the co-creator too? I think he was the co-creator.
He's
co-creator of Shark Tank.
Yeah, it was created by
him and not Mr. Wonderful, but
Mr. Wonderful created the show.
Yes,
and he's an executive producer.
Yes, there you go. Okay, so Elon Musk recently, for those that don't know, actually stepped down from his position or his seat at the show Shark Tank. Right.
Mark Cuban.
I'm sorry, I said Elon Musk.
Sure did.
Yes, thank you. Mark Cuban. All right, recently stepped down, and within hours, or I think it was no more than a day, he also sold his majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks, a team that he owned since 2000. I think he bought it for 285 million. And the deal netted him what was it?
3.2.
It was B's though.
It's like 3.25 billion.
Yeah, 3.25 billion.
Right. B's. So from what I researched, the official word is that he wanted to be with his family.
That ain't what I heard.
My kids. Hold on. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because I really want to hear y'all take. But from what he's saying, I want to be with my family. Yo, my kids are teenagers. I'm missing games. Yo, I'm a family, and I understand that hit me because, and we're fathers. You know, I'm a super family guy. I don't. Nothing goes above my kid. I'm making every practice. So I get it from that standpoint. But when do we see this? When have you ever seen something like this, dog?
Some
liquidation to this effect? Like, I'm like, is this Russell Simmons again? Like, what's going on? Like, what let me hear what you go. You burn. It's burning in you right now.
I'm gonna give you two things.
Let's go.
All right. So, Cuban reached a deal to sell the majority ownership of the Mavericks for a valuation in the range of $3.5 billion. What makes the deal very unique is while keeping a strong stake in full control and final say in basketball operations.
So he sold the company, sold the team, and still runs the team.
Doesn't normally happen. So the rumor out there is they're about to legalize gambling in Texas. He sold his stake to people who build and own a lot of casinos in
Las Vegas.
There you go.
Damn, what's her name again?
Soon as the law passes,
Edelman.
He's going to get active in Texas, and that's where that money's going. But I don't know too many NBA owners who will sell a majority of a team stake and still retain control of the team. Just doesn't normally happen.
Michael Jordan.
And that's the only one. And even then, he doesn't have full. He controls basketball operations.
Please, hold on. I want to hear this. Because this might be where I was leaning. Go ahead.
Okay.
No name. Go ahead.
Michael Jordan don't own the team. He never did on paper. He owned it on paper. He don't run the team from start to finish. And he got fleeced from the team.
Definitely got fleeced.
So let's he don't own nothing.
All right.
Mark Cuban, the whites.
Right.
Bought it for 280. Sold it for 3.5 and still runs the team.
Sheesh, that's gangster, dog.
Makes all the decisions.
You makes all the decisions and you don't have no liability to what it is. So if any type of lawsuit or anything come for all the nonsense that was been going on under your nose when you own the team of all this sexual harassment, all the stuff, you are not liable anymore because you don't own the team.
Thank you. See, so that's why I thought you were going with it, Valle.
because you're the only. They can only go after him as a citizen now.
Yeah. So he can go bankrupt if anything happens.
Exactly.
And that's why you step down from your other company, Shark Tank, because no liability, you can't sue.
Nothing, right? So we don't know what it is, but we know there's a bigger play at hand. Right.
And there's and you guys have anything else you want to add on Mark Cuban? So now that you actually say that,
I forgot. I actually did forget about that. That was maybe like what those allegations.
That was years ago, bro.
It wasn't like super far, but maybe like in the past like 3-4 years. I remember it was
you know what had happened? What COVID. Because it dropped before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then it got quiet.
They had him come on. They had him come on the network,
and he was like
crying a little bit.
He's like, I'm gonna resurrect this place.
I can't believe it.
He was
blah
like,
blah blah blah. To me, I didn't know. I didn't know this has been going on. It's been going on for years.
Right. So yeah, I mean it's hard with the whole situation about this other person we know of, Sean Combs. It's hard seeing everything going on with him and not just assume something's going on with Mark Cuban. But one question I gotta ask y'all, question or statement is, did he do it? Oh, damn.
I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
Did he do it? Did he do it?
Believe. Did you read the? You read the deposition?
Nope.
I read some.
I heard talk.
I didn't read all of it, but I read some of it, and I don't doubt anything I read in it.
It just goes in line of the stuff if you're in the
You've been
culture,
hearing about
You've
it,
heard for years.
You've heard for years,
Yeah.
right? Like you've heard for years. You've seen on MTV, on Meet the like a lot of that wasn't fake.
You know what's so funny?
A lot of that was
Cuddy's
fake.
car was the only thing that really took me by surprise, and then I started seeing old tweets from like 2014 and 2013 where they were like, yeah, Puff allegedly blew up Cuddy's car. He said it
in
on
2014.
Yeah.
Super quiet.
Yeah.
Super quiet.
That's
That was
a lot. That's how
that was in there.
And you know how quiet? You know how much power you got to have to make that quiet? Because Cuddy was still popping at that time.
Yeah.
Cuddy was still popping at that time, right?
Yeah.
So if that happened to like an artist that was still, he was just coming off of 808.
He's got an animated movie on Netflix that's actually pretty good.
Cuddy's soft. How you let somebody blow up your car and you won't put hands on him? He's soft.
Puff's a billionaire, man.
I don't
Apparently
care.
he
He
is.
wasn't a billionaire back then.
Well, you know
I'd
what?
put hands
I'm
on Puff.
He did that.
gonna let you know what
Me
up.
and Puff would have squared up.
But if he did that,
What
else do you think he can do?
he's capable of? Hey, man, they said he's the real, like what we think Suge Knight is.
That's Puff for real.
They said Puff got every weapon in the
Hey,
house.
Shook was really that though. Hold on now. Don't rewrite history.
I'm letting you know in this deposition.
Nigga, sure.
It says this Suge Knight location was found. They say Puff made some calls.
Yeah.
Multiple people showed up at Puff's house.
Yeah.
They assembled every firearm in his residence.
That's Buddy's deposition, right? What's his name?
no, that's the deposition of
Cassie's.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, she was really giving it up like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
Have you ever seen anybody settle in 24 hours?
Not recently.
No.
Not in the hip hop.
I can't recall anybody settling something that
Right.
that
Mhm.
it was 24
There's been sooner than that. But
24
big
hours
corporations.
is what it took for that to go away.
Mm-hmm.
I believe a lot of it. I'm not gonna say I believe everything.
It doesn't sound far fetched, and
It don't sound far fetched. But that's how you get the big money.
and I didn't realize Puff was into voyeurism the way he is, but it's like, damn, man,
Huh?
Yeah.
man.
Oh, she really gave it up.
Yeah. But it's not. None of it sounds like far fetched, man.
Yeah. She
I hate
didn't
to
go,
say it.
So she didn't go like super salacious where it's like, all right. No, she was just like, he would pick up dudes and have them,
Whoa.
and he would watch, right?
Yeah.
Voyeurism, right?
Yeah.
Hey, when he didn't like something, he would get drunk and beat me up. The one that was wild was the breast implant one.
Yeah.
That was wild, yo.
That was
Hold on, I'm
wild,
confused.
and
That was wild.
Yeah, I need to educate. Go ahead, man.
He paid for her to get breast implants.
Cassie.
Cassie. And walked in, saw what they looked like right after the surgery, said, I don't like them. Take them out.
Okay.
While she was still in the
in
the bed. Like literally they just finished. He walks in, it's time to see her. He's like, I don't like how they look. Take them out now.
So
then the doctor was like, well, she has to heal.
We just finished, yeah.
We just finished. She got to heal. He goes, nah.
Okay. So essentially, he was treating her like a pet.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Damn, that must suck. She must. Oof.
This is what I say, man.
And then she gave it up. She was like 16. Sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm almost 100% certain it's not the first woman that Diddy's done this to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's why I can say I'm not like overly surprised. I think anytime you run into these kind of situations, it just goes to show you what happens when you have powerful men.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? You have men with a lot of influence, men with a lot of money.
R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was broke. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't broke the whole time.
Not the whole time. I ain't saying he was.
That's
I'm
a
not
recent
saying,
R. Kelly.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
musical legend.
That
Put some respect on the music.
would have kind of helped keep him out of jail. If R. Kelly had the amount of wealth that Puff does, that probably would have delayed him going to jail much longer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have kept him out of prison.
Doing different things, but
I'm just be honest with you.
And then how much
didn't have the money goes back to our conversation earlier.
He just didn't have the bread.
But one were younger girls, people who were searching for success. Cassie,
what's her name? Kim Porter. Is
I heard the rumors about that.
And
yeah,
there's
16.
Yeah, man.
She was 16 when she
if you look at the
met
age,
Diddy, or when she blew up.
when did Puff have his?
When she started with him.
And then his son,
he discovered, like, when they linked up to start,
she was already underage.
She was 16. Yeah, she was 16.
Okay.
Apparently,
But they weren't together at 16.
if you do the math of one of his kids, it lines up. With the
interesting
her being underage at the time of conception.
Yikes!
So
yeah,
okay,
So that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at, she said met her when he was 16, and then that's when they started, and then that's when he started to groom, and she was with, and then he was like, oh, you need time, blah 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 blah. And
yeah. I guess
bad,
another
wow,
one
right? So what does this mean? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm still gonna listen to Bad Boy stuff.
What Bad Boy stuff do you listen to now?
Damn, that's a good question.
I'm not gonna.
I'll listen to Mace if it come on.
Mace, hell no, I ain't listening to Mace.
I listen to if
Diddy has a new album.
I didn't run to love like
I'm
that.
an R&B guy.
Was it any good?
It was good.
Yeah, it was actually.
But see, I didn't expect it to be bad because
I'm an R&B guy.
But it's Puff production. Like I'm gonna sit here and act like he doesn't produce great music.
Bro, take him off.
Like we don't have a 20.
That's true.
Huh?
We should take him off. We didn't need him on it.
No, we didn't.
Literally
on the R&B album, you don't need him.
You don't need him.
I'm perfectly okay on that. It's not like he was.
If you take him off,
he brings nothing to the album.
Nah, it is a phenomenal.
It's
the project.
If you take him off,
the project is
take him off, and it's
phenomenal. Yeah, but it's still
because he comes on and it's like Jesus, you just ruined this.
It still takes me back to the Puffiest Poison video. That's even funnier now.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen that he stepped down as the
he did.
The head of
essentially every
Revolt,
company.
and Macy's is now saying we're no longer offering Sean John products.
Word, you still open?
Who's wearing Sean John in 2023?
I didn't know. Macy's
this is the thing, right? I'm not gonna say. I'll admit it. I have a Sean John sweatsuit.
No way, the velour one.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of lit though.
I got one.
That's kind of lit though. Hold on, is it old or is it new?
Nah,
Never mind. The velour don't lay the same, bro. It don't feel the same.
After a while,
it's too smooth. Okay,
but I mean,
yo,
I kind of thought the same thing. Like Macy's, like who you guys still got stores that are open? Like
I didn't.
Y'all haven't just moved to being online now. Like,
I didn't really know. I didn't understand it, but hey, it is what it is. But you think it's over for Diddy? No name. Do you think it's over for Diddy?
No.
Okay. Valle G, do you think it's over for Diddy?
Nah.
Okay.
No. He knows way too much of the dirt. They're just gonna make him quiet.
Yeah.
If Russell Simmons is still doing his thing, Diddy's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna have
Diddy's fine.
He ain't gonna be a billionaire no more though.
No,
no more billionaire.
No, I think he will be. He just have to be a quiet billionaire.
He's gonna take too many hits, and he stepped down.
He's taking them now, but that doesn't mean that.
But remember, he stepped down from a lot of situations.
Agree. I think from a
he's losing money.
He's gonna have to sell a lot of stuff.
Bingo.
That's gonna drop him
the value.
Maybe not.
When we say billionaire, it's
paper. It's computer billionaire.
It's evaluation. It's net worth.
Yeah.
So if my most valuable asset is now taking a hit,
Revolt TV,
I am now taking a hit.
But we don't know if. I think it's a good look for him to step down. From these. Hey, man,
it's still the entity. Like they're. It's still going to take a hit because, from a standpoint of creative control, it's like with wrestling, WWE.
Yeah,
when Vince stepped down, it was like it started kind of like
it's gonna be a little shaky.
It's gonna be,
it needs to be because hey, if we keep you here. People are at some point. People are
pushed away.
Enough people are going to be outraged that you're going to lose people watching or viewing the network. So you know what? Step down. It's not like he sold the network. It's not like he sold ownership or majority stake in it. He just stepped down. Hey, I can't be the face anymore because I love to be in front. He loved to be in front of the camera. Think about it. You can take it back to his music career. He loved to be in front of the camera.
You want your all in the video.
You know what I'm saying? Like Puff love.
Take that.
I think that is probably one of the worst punishments he's experiencing right now. I can't be in front of the camera anymore. No.
What does Carisha feel like in a time like this?
Because we're going to ask you about these
Well, he hasn't been in front of the camera in a long time now.
Yeah, right.
Puff's been.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that because they just did a tribute. I think BT did a tribute.
Yeah.
Not this year, but last year for him.
Wasn't he just on Drink Champ? Oh, that was okay.
No, he hasn't.
He's not in front of the camera all the time. But I think he comes out once a couple times a year.
Yeah.
You know, when something's going on.
No, he's gonna be quiet.
A major award show or something like that.
Right.
I don't think you can do that no more now. I think now, hey man, you gotta go sit down and just be wealthy in the house.
Hence the reason why the drop, because there's no optics. I'm not out here. I'm not generating. You're not seeing me, so I'm not thinking about you. So you're entities will start to.
I guess you better not give back any more of that publishing.
So B5 is not getting lucky.
He wasn't making any money.
I'm gonna tell you, the funniest thing I heard throughout all this was the Locke's interview where Jadakiss talked about pushing a refrigerator off a skyscraper.
What? I missed that one.
Yeah,
so he was trying
I think he got on like what is it? One of these New York stations, like
Hot 97 or something?
Hot 97 or whatever Angie Martinez and them are on. I don't know.
Power.
One of those.
Yeah.
And said no amount of security
Interesting.
will ever be enough to stop no amount of security. Because I guess he had the Locks publishing. He wouldn't give it back to him.
Yeah.
And they had been going back and forth. And he was like, come to the office. And they were like, we can't come to the office because you got all the damn security down there. And you know if we come to the office, y'all going to shoot us or whatever. And that whole thing. But it was just funny as hell to hear Jadakiss describe. So animated with it too. About pushing a steel double door refrigerator off a skyscraper because he hated Puff so much. Funny as hell.
Wow.
That's the funniest thing I heard throughout that whole ordeal. I was like, damn, I forgot about this. That and the Young Jock interview of him talking about how he made Cassie shave the side of her head.
I saw that.
Whole movement.
I
think that is a lot of the videos and stuff are starting to circulate with the
everything's
Puff,
coming back.
which it's kind of hilarious, man. Like, damn, this stuff is really out here. Like these stories and stuff out here.
Connected until something happens.
Yeah, and it's like
right.
Oh yeah, someone did tell the story. It
out in the ether and it just kind of flutters.
Like, oh yeah, I do remember that. Right. Right.
So because this stuff is, I'm not a supporter of Vlad, but like Vlad interviews and stuff circulates. Like, man, you know what? There is a story that Puff did something like that, and you know what? We just found the clip, and now it goes viral. But it's been out here, like you said, for years. So,
and that's all the game too, right? Because you repost it because you know they're gonna flood.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's if you got it vaulted and you're smart. Some people just find it. Yeah. Like some people's like, hey, I remember that here. Boom.
Where was it? Let me go right back to that interview. And then search it. So yeah, I mean, Brother Love, I think it might just be over for him. It is what it is. I think he'll be fine. But
at least he got one. He got one last album out.
He gonna lose a lot of money. But shout out to Cassie. I honestly haven't been thinking about Cassie in a while until this news broke. But given that she went through all of this, which I think the three of us are,
and only got one hit song out of the whole deal. That's what's so crazy.
Whoa.
All right, so you think more than one? You think it was more than one?
It was three. She didn't.
Okay,
it was three. I think it was three. Right?
What's the other one? Tell me.
All right, give us the other two.
Me and you.
That's
one. Next election, it was Ryan Leslie did that one.
How'd it go? You remember?
Oh my god. No.
Okay.
Darn it.
I don't think it's a hit then.
No.
It's a song. She got another song.
No. She had like, oh my god.
What she had one thing. This that one thing that got me.
That's Cassie.
Is it?
No way.
That might be somebody else.
Just one thing. That's Anne Marie.
Oh my bad. No disrespect to Anne Marie. My bad. If you listen to this, I'm sorry.
But no. Shout out to Cassie.
Yeah, I stand by my one hit song.
Hey.
Yeah, no name. You got to prove that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
What? No. You're a little older than us. He's a little older than us.
You guys are crazy.
You're a little older than us. Maybe you.
She had two.
Okay, let's say two hits or one in the possible.
One in the possible.
One in the
possible.
possible.
Like a game of spades.
Hey, exactly. But shout out to Cassie. She got a whole lot richer. And
sorry,
if this is something that she went through, I feel terrible. And you deserve all of that. You deserve more. And if Diddy was on that for real, that kind of time, he belongs in jail. Straight up, he belongs in jail.
Powerful man, man.
And
money and power,
right? And if there's women out there that are dealing with issues like this, please don't be afraid to stand up. Don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to run if you have to. Yeah. Just speak. I'm a big advocate for that. Completely against domestic violence and all that kind of trash.
Absolutely.
So please speak. All right. So right before we head into our next non-commercial break, we started into hip hop already. I guess Diddy is still, that's hip hop. So there's another hip hop story that came out this week, and I thought it was pretty interesting. All right, because this is something that one Noriega was talking about for a while. I'm sure you guys have seen or heard Drink Champs before, and he has this kind of running. I don't even know if it's a joke now, but he's been saying it for years. But he has this kind of like running segment or topic where he talks about hip hop needing a union. Right? He's mentioned it at like for years, right? because different stories would come out about said hip hop artist that's a legend being broke. Or having health issues. You know, Brad Jordan had health issues not too long ago. We got tons of artists that deal with financial issues, or just people see them. But like Academics was talking about dusty old rappers and stuff like that. And so Nori came with this idea that, hey, we need to do a union because we can't have hip hop. Hip hop is too important, too integral in the culture, or rap, to have our legends looking like this, right?
Right.
So we got somebody like Nas. And a few music execs, legends in the game, that actually started a new foundation called the Paid in Full Foundation, which I think is a dope name.
Yeah.
But it's to cover health costs for older rappers. I'm not sure if it's for all rappers, but legends, I guess, in the game, and also to cover finances, like if they're not doing so well because they were the cold crush back in the day, like Jay-Z said in the old song, H to the Izzo, pay us like yours. But I like it. How do y'all feel? Like,
it's long overdue. I hate the fact that rappers have to start it. You know what I mean? Definitely long overdue, man. I hate the fact that rappers have to start, or it took a rapper and some music execs to start it. Like, I think the label should have long started that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Especially when you say like, pay us like, the whole verse, pay us like yours. Like, yeah, the labels owe
overcharging for what they did to the Cold Crush.
Yeah, like the labels owe so much to these artists and just to the culture in general, man. It seemed like all that happens is, all they do is take.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I definitely agree with that.
Big ups to Nas and the music execs that are part of that for doing that, man. That's kind of innovative, if you ask me. I'm kind of curious, or have other genres started anything like that? Does that exist for anybody else's genre?
Do they really need it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't
the pioneers of their, like, these are pioneers.
That's where I am, right? In my eyes, it's always our community that needs a handout, right? I don't get me wrong. I think it's great. I think what he's doing, I salute. I like really powerful. But I think, when are we going to take some accountability where the same record labels also robbed rock artists, also robbed all these other blues and all this other stuff,
right?
And
we seen the Ray Charles movie.
They didn't need a union. Yes, their health and whatever. What I'm saying is, there was some type of accountability somewhere. It's like, I think we sometimes just have to look at the landscape and say,
I think I have to disagree, Doc.
I know
a lot of them died broke.
I know a lot of them died broke, but I think a lot of them made it where, okay, I think at a certain point, so hip hop is 50 years old this year.
Yes.
Right? That's right. That's not that old.
It's not. It's very young.
It's very young. I think there's a lot of examples of other artists taking advantage of that we just lined right up and continued on the same trend. Right. There's a lot of examples of just, Nori says it all the time. I love a major. Give me the check. I'll pay it back. You had the affordance to pay it back, right? Like, you were in that position to pay it back because you made it big and had those hits. Other people didn't. We have too many examples of us continuing to go down this road of, right? Like, there's some part, the 90s should have got it. Like, people get robbed in the 90s like that.
But people still gonna go down the wrong path, though, dog.
But
are you surprised when the NBA player go broke? Like this, Antoine Walker wasn't the last NBA player to go broke.
I'm gonna say this. I am, because those leagues, to No Name's point, those leagues have changed so much as far as getting you prepared to come in here. You can't use the excuse of what happened. Like, Antoine Walker been retired for damn near 20 years now.
Still gonna happen.
Yeah, it's still gonna happen to the people that are ignorant.
Yes,
that choose to be, that willingly choose to be ignorant, just like the artists. So I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. I partially agree, but I think that you can make that argument for the newer artists today, for the artists that were born with the resources of the internet, to push out their music. That's the way you can move around. Like, I don't fault people in the 90s or 80s or anything, before that, because you didn't have the resources to put out your records on your own necessarily. You know what I mean?
No, I think I don't necessarily talking about going independent.
Okay.
I'm more so of, I signed this bad deal because I needed to. I knew it was a bad deal.
Well, see, I'm not.
Continue to sign.
I bet on myself. I bet on myself.
I continue to sign the bad deal.
I ain't gonna necessarily say that because everybody doesn't know that. Some people know that.
That's all I'm saying.
Some people are aware.
Okay, so you agree.
Some people went out and got a music lawyer and said, "Hey, look at this deal.
Thank you.
Is this a fair deal? Is this a good deal? No, this is fucked up." Excuse my language. I'm trying to cuss on your pod. Sorry about that. Hey, I want this. I don't want this deal. I want something more fair. So. Everybody don't have that resource.
That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Everybody don't have it.
That's all I'm saying.
And I think that if you're talking about artists in other genres, I think they have the benefit of having more of those resources than hip hop, simply because if you look at hip hop's foundation, like it's from the minority communities.
The
it's born in poverty.
Yes.
Like at its core, it's from poverty. Like that's where it started,
and it's being manipulated for a minute, a little different than other genres.
Yes,
just,
I agree with what you're saying, but I think there's still some accountability that needs to be
absolutely
part of that, right?
I don't disagree with that,
right?
But that's the nuance.
But that's why I say like the newer artists, that information is public now. Like we have enough stories of people getting stepped on for you to be able to maneuver around that. So I think too,
like I think too is. Even I still go back to some of the older artists, right? Like I even go back to some of that because, all right, if I get X amount of dollars, yes, I have a bad deal, but I get X amount of dollars, but there's nothing with me. It's like, you know what? This is always going to come, right? Like this is always going to be there. Like there's nothing with like, man, I saw how regardless of the contract, man, I saw how messed up Ray Charles was after all of this stuff, right? I'm gonna get some type of health care or something. Like, you guys just didn't do nothing. Like, a part of me is just like, like I get it, I get it, but a part of me is like, you didn't even not one time to sit down and say, you know what? Like, I saw the Tony Braxton doc, and how as soon as she got the money, she went and did other stuff,
right?
Like it's like at some part there should be.
I think it's so a great example of what you're talking about is what you're seeing some of the older artists do now. So, for example, Bun B sells the burgers, right?
Yeah.
Styles P is doing the juices and all that stuff. Like you're seeing that first
diversification.
I don't want to call them that first wave of like hip hop guys, but I guess like the mid wave of hip hop guys age into doing other things and expand.
No. Don't forget Master P.
To me, that's like definitely one of the goats as far as like
don't forget Master P.
Having some. To me, that's like one of the goats of being able to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Manipulate the system a little bit.
I think it's just diversification.
Well, that too as well. But I mean, just initially, as far as him being an artist, before he got outside of being an artist and all these different brand deals and these different businesses, but just him being able to get
his first deal was crazy.
Yeah, 85% of your record sales.
Bro, he had to crawl for a lot of these moguls to walk.
But also, thing about that is there was independence before the major deals came. That was selling records out of my trunk. You know what I mean? And then you can finagle that into getting a deal or getting a meeting with a Michael Jackson lawyer, and then him telling you, "Hey, you need to have this type of deal if you want to make this type of money."
And it's a mixed bag, man. Right? Like I'm not telling you I'm against this or like think it's a bad idea. I think it's a mixed bag because it's so for every 5 artists that went broke, there's 6 artists that are fine.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, if we are both in the same draft class, how
are we not having the same type of outcome?
Yes.
But that's impossible.
But I'm here to tell you, everybody doesn't take the same path.
I know everybody does.
Everybody's different.
Some people take the check in
right now where 2 artists came out.
But you gave the greatest example already with the Tony Braxton. She took the money. What did she do? She didn't run off and do what she didn't put it in an investment.
Yeah.
She didn't put it in retirement. She didn't put it in healthcare. She didn't put it in anything substantial. Think about life after me being an artist. Okay, if I experienced that, I've seen that. Let's say I'm 16 years old. I've seen that documentary. At 25, I'm getting ready to sign this deal with Universal. Okay, the first big check comes. You already have an example of what not to do, so you shouldn't mess that up.
Yep.
So I don't cut people out of slack if you already know the rules to the game.
For some reason, people always do. It is what it is. But
I'm sorry,
that's one of those mysteries of humanity, bro.
That's the responsibility.
Everybody moves on their own accord.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Free will, so to speak.
No name got a point though.
No, absolutely.
No name is spitting facts is saying that for every you can line 10 artists up.
Fact.
5 of them over here are gonna be good. The other 5 over here
That's a fact.
made mistakes.
That's a fact.
Hey guys, don't be like these guys over here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All the sports leagues do it now. They take all the guys that were broke,
Right.
and they bring them in to these training camps and stuff before
Right.
for all these rookies and college kids.
Symposium.
Hey, these are all the guys that messed it up.
Right.
Hey, I had $100 million. I blew it. Don't do these
symposiums.
things.
You should know better. And you know what? I hate to end this or put a button on this with another
Joe Smith.
With the leave him alone, dog. That's my dog. That's my dog actually too.
Sorry,
I know.
that's
That's
poster
my
child
dog.
for
Salute
don't
to him,
mess it up.
man. Yeah, but his story is a bit more complex.
It is.
That's a
It's a
story
little
for
more
another day. That's a story for
Right,
another
right.
day. She should be ashamed of herself, but we'll move on. But to put a button on this with a Jay-Z bar, show them how to move in a room full of vultures. The industry is shady and need to be taken over. People should know better. I definitely agree with you, but also the complexities of society and just human life make that something that's never going to happen, where it's going to be batting 10 for 10, like where everybody's going to get it right and do what they're supposed to do. That's not about to happen, bro.
I don't know, man. I feel like Sweden, they got to figure it out.
Sweden got to figure it out. Somebody in Sweden's like, bring Tesla on, please.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys want to say right quick?
No.
All right. So we got another commercial, non-commercial break. We will be right back. All right.
It's still.
All right. And we are back from the commercial, non-commercial break. Advertisers, are you listening? And briefly, right before we get into what I really want to talk about, I spent my time, my hard-earned time, watching.
Oh, here we go.
I can't even say the presidential debate because no, it wasn't.
They're not going to win.
It wasn't a presidential debate.
Neither of those gentlemen.
It was two people, two governors from states that have nothing to do with each other, spending what was it, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. This was one of the worst debates I've ever seen. If for those of you out there that don't know what I'm talking about, Governor Ron DeSantis, who I've talked about ad nauseum on this show, and
don't say gay,
and Governor Gavin Newsom, please say gay. They had a debate last night on I think it was on Fox News.
Of course it was.
And it was one of the worst debates I've seen ever, bro. And it was low key embarrassing because Gavin Newsom is cringe in the way that he tries to capitulate, not even capitulate, but just lie. It's so easy, it's so obviously a lie. And DeSantis, just in the way he speaks, he's just cringe as it is, and he wears cowboy boots with the little lift heels in them and all that kind of stuff. So it's just this was pretty bad, bro. This was pretty bad. And I said it before that in the last episode that I think it's a competition for or posturing for 2028, but I think they actually hurt themselves.
You sat through all the hour
most of it. I fell asleep. I ain't gonna front.
Okay.
I fell asleep. But I got up in the morning and looked at tried to find a summation of it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make it any better.
I imagine it would.
It didn't make it any better, bro.
If it's for 2028, no one's gonna remember this.
Listen, I think they hurt themselves.
No one's gonna
remember. They got the next 5 years to four,
bro. We have
because we're pretty close.
We have
four in a month.
have video recordings and social media.
Yeah,
when 2028 comes back, it will be brought back.
But who knows how that'll look in 5K or 6K.
That's fair.
I can get the AI to go in and edit that footage.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, you didn't hear? Oh, we talked about the Mandela effect. Oh, you didn't hear that? No, it was a great debate. You don't remember it.
Make this look more. Make it look like I won.
Make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. How about that? How about that? But yeah, I really just wanted to let y'all know how trash I thought it was. That's it.
Waste my time.
Yeah, facts. I shouldn't have wasted my time. But I love this history and politics stuff.
Did you go in with I know you didn't go in with no high expectations.
I'm not voting for either one, but I have to pay attention to this stuff. I'm a history guy. I have to pay attention, bro.
So you went in with zero expectations.
Yeah, I'm not voting for. I would never vote for either one.
Were you disappointed?
No, no. Because like I said, I don't care. Neither one is a favorite for me. I don't like either one of them.
No, but I mean, I guess it's like playing.
Did I have expectations?
Yeah,
to be entertained.
I
thought it was embarrassing.
I mean, but it wasn't like plans that you didn't want to go to. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
It's all right, I'm gonna go here see this movie. I may not really want to see this movie, but I don't have anything to do. on a Thursday night. So let me just hit press play. You know,
those guys should be ashamed of themselves, and I think they should be banned from running in 2028. I don't think either one of them would be good for the country.
Okay,
it is what it is. But moving on to something that I think is a little more interesting, and you guys be the judge. Josh Giddey, man. Josh Giddey. For those that don't know, he is a guard on. He's a shooting guard, right? Or is he a small forward? I think he's a shooting guard on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Josh Giddey has been going through possible legal troubles as of late.
Being investigated. He's
being investigated by the authorities and also the NBA.
Yes, now.
For it's believed or allegedly.
I don't know, man.
He had a relationship or an encounter with an underage girl.
The pictures look pretty damn.
You saw the pictures.
They look pretty convincing.
They look pretty relationshipy yeah.
One of the pictures, I quote.
What's up?
I think the caption is her saying she slept with Josh Giddey.
So Josh Giddey. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. I think the caption of like the picture, her little Snapchat thing is just sleeping with
Josh Giddey. Mm-hmm. Okay,
and
he got a goofy look to his face. I don't know what it is. He looked guilty, dog. He looked like he did it. Allegedly, he looked like he got a goofy look to him, bro.
I think it's alleged, but he's probably like, I'm from Australia.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, it's probably consent. Like their age is different, so
age of consent.
It might be
in Oklahoma
City, 16,
right? Yeah,
but this happened in Cali.
Oh,
Giddey's 21, and she's 17.
Yeah. So the incident, alleged incident, happened in Cali. If it had happened in Oklahoma City, none of this would be news.
Yeah. And apparently the girl stopped cooperating.
Her family isn't cooperating with it, and that's what everyone thinks. I'm of the belief too.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Crikey.
And I truly think it's like legit. Like they are together.
Huh?
That's
meaning like
he's dating chick.
They're dating.
Allegedly, he's allegedly dating this young girl. She's 17 now, right?
They're close enough in age where I kind of don't feel any type of way about it. I just I guess in the technical sense, you could say it's wrong. Like technically, because he's 21, he's legally an adult. She's not.
Josh
18.
Kelly, the Pied Hooper. Okay.
But if you looking at it, it's only 4 years. I wouldn't bat an eye if she was 21.
That sounds horrible.
It does, but I'm just saying horrible. I wouldn't bat an eye. Just regular person. I wouldn't bat an eye if she was 21. He's 25.
Okay, but he
if
was
that's when they were meeting.
Allegedly it was at 7. She was 16 when he
17 is what I've been told. He's 21. That's all I know.
Oh, I knew girls like that in high school. Okay,
so that's so in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's a 4-year difference.
Right.
That's not
right.
Oh, but technically he's 21,
right.
and technically she's still a minor.
Right.
So yeah, technically you can't do that.
Right.
But I don't like he said that happened in Cali. I don't know what the statute of limitation is there versus Oklahoma.
And it might be normal in Australia.
But this is what I'll say. He represents the National Basketball Association. So I can see why the league is like, hey, man, you're representing us. Apparently, he just lost some deal in Australia. Worth, I don't know how.
Yikes.
Somewhere in the millions.
Well.
He already lost an endorsement because of being investigated for it.
Yeah, right. It's not it doesn't shine well on the country.
Yeah, no, I mean nobody looks good in it, because the story isn't being ran saying, hey, Josh Giddey, 21-year-old, allegedly messing with 17-year-old. It's basically being put out there, hey, you're messing with a minor.
Right. Well,
that's all we know.
The reason why the story even got the legs that it really has now is because of not even that, but
you don't think so?
Social media, and also the way that people were able to badger something like a platform like ESPN for what they feel like was kind of like sweeping it under the rug.
Because of the Brandon Miller. Malika Andrews is taking a lot of flack for it, which is interesting to see.
She gets flack for everything. It's starting to get unfair now, though.
It is, because it was like
a little unfair.
Des Bryant jumps out the window
every time.
Yeah, he
jumps out the window.
CTE allegedly,
and then somebody replied to him like, "Bro, she just talked about this.
Just touched on it." It's like you
yeah, he goes a little too hard.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, no, it took them too long." And then they replied again, "It was the weekend." It was her first time back.
I mean,
on TV since
she get a break, bro.
Since the Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
And the difference is like it's still being investigated.
I think she turned down Buddy, man.
That must be it.
Yeah,
He
like
tried to
she-
holler at her.
Yeah, she turned
Yeah,
down.
Could
yeah,
be.
I think,
She's
I
like,
think
nah.
so.
She said,
She's like, I don't like black men, allegedly, and then he has an issue with her ever since. That makes
he
sense.
never let it go.
He never let that go. That makes sense
He
to
should
me.
just went to her sister.
Oh, the sister.
I think she
Fine.
she worked. Does
Fine.
she work for the network as well?
Five.
Yeah. She's a sideline. I don't know if she.
Reporter,
Does.
yeah.
Malika with a little more things given.
Mm-hmm.
If
you know what I mean.
I
Yeah.
think
Five.
I think this
Better.
is better. I agree.
Grade A.
I agree.
All right. Okay. So we already know what it is. Josh Giddey. It is what it is. The basketball is R. Kelly, or is that Karl Malone? I don't know. Allegedly.
Malone.
But
Definitely Malone.
but
No,
either
no,
way,
it's not even a question. Like,
Yeah.
it's Malone.
hey,
bro.
thoughts and prayers though. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, man.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we're kind of talking about ESPN or basketball or sports, I should say, there's another case where I feel like a lot of people were very wrong on this early on, and I even made comments about it where I thought this was the end. Now it's looking a little brighter for this guy, Mikey Williams.
Yeah.
Mikey Williams. I thought he was about to be in jail for at least 10 years.
Yeah. It wasn't looking good at first. Whoever that attorney is, boy.
Yeah, we need to figure out who he or she is.
Yeah.
And they need to be like memorialized somewhere for getting this boy out of this situation
Because it
Like-
did not look good.
with community service, essentially.
Remind me.
And
of the
some,
people that I didn't get this one.
Oh, Mikey Williams.
Yeah.
Mikey Williams is was a star basketball player. At one point, he was the number one ranked middle school player. Like he was in middle school, people were like, "Yeah, he could play
Is
in
this
the
the
league."
Alabama?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
okay,
no,
go
no.
That's
ahead.
Brandon Miller.
Oh, you talking about Brandon Miller?
Okay.
So
Miller.
Brandon Miller wasn't charged
Go
with
ahead, go ahead,
anything.
go ahead, go ahead.
Brandon Miller wasn't charged with anything.
Okay.
Brandon Miller just happened to be a former Alabama basketball player
yeah.
who Malika Andrews was talking about
Yeah,
during the
that's
NBA
what-
draft, which
yeah.
prompted the Des Bryant
Yeah.
r-
Yeah,
response,
why you gonna- yeah.
segueing all that. But
Mikey Williams.
Mikey Williams, man, apparently 8 felony counts is what he was looking at initially. Got all that dropped down to 1 misdemeanor.
Wow.
So part of his plea deal, and I guess he has to do this before his, I don't know if it's his arraignment or whatever that happens in August. He's got to complete a gun safety course. Because remember, I guess the initial charge was him. I don't know if he fired the gun at a moving vehicle or just brought the gun out. But he has to attend a gun safety course in anger management. And that's it. Misdemeanors drop.
Salute. Again, respect to the attorney.
Yeah.
And I'm actually happy at that situation because one, this kid who's still a kid
Mhm.
He is.
doesn't have his life ruined.
Yeah.
So
for one,
and I
one
hope,
mistake.
and I hope, for this mistake. And I hope this is
Was
the
anybody
eye-opening thing. No,
No.
nobody was hurt.
Okay.
But he fired at a vehicle, striking the vehicle, an Uber driver's Tesla, apparently. And I'm just like, what the heck? What made you so angry that I don't get it? Because there was no reports of a physical altercation that happened between him and the So the you know the beginning of the story, right?
No.
Okay, so Mikey Williams had some kind of Getty at his house in California.
Yep.
And one of the invitees, a girl that was invited to the party, actually brought some guys or gave guys the Addy, gave guys the address. People that weren't invited.
Mhm.
Don't know if it was set up. Don't know if it was hey, we're gonna go check this out, scope out.
Mhm.
Don't know what the situation was. It could have been some guys that didn't have anything to do and knew the girl and just wanted to go hang out at Mikey Williams' house and be fans.
Mhm.
But either way, they got there, and a lot of the details in from we get straight from A to C, and B is kind of murky. There's
Yep.
no details about what happened in the house, but we do know some kind of disagreement happened. It could have just been like, yo, who y'all lame? Y'all need to leave. Too many, you know what I mean? But it goes from maybe that to Mikey Williams following these guys outside. And mind you, they left in an Uber, so that means it takes time to do that. So don't know what happened from that point, but follows them out with a rifle and fires at the car as it's leaving, striking the car, right?
Mhm.
So one, these are serious charges that he's possibly facing, and two, he could have killed somebody. You know what I mean? But I know how it is, and thankfully I changed and everything like that. But I know how it is to be in that street mentality. I know how it is to be around gunfire and all that kind of stuff, and I know how it is also to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was that knucklehead being thrown around by police officers because I was doing something crazy.
Mhm.
And I'm thankful that it didn't end a certain way and I didn't have my life ruined. So I kind of have not necessarily a soft spot in my heart, but it's just a more realistic view at the situation. This is a young
empathy
guy. Like if
Yeah.
I was arrested and certain things that I was doing, I wouldn't be here. If I could have been shot, you know how things happen nowadays. I could have been, you know what I mean? I could have been shot, you know what I mean? And thankfully, none of that happened. And I had my second lease on life. So salute to Mikey Williams. I hope, man, is he going to be able to play at Memphis?
You know what? That's a great question. I don't know.
He's a Memphis superstar
recruit.
basketball player. I think his stock has gone down even before this. Like I'm blaming it on rap music and smoking weed.
It dipped a little bit.
It dipped a lot.
I'm not.
He didn't make he went from being the number one ranked 7th or 8th grader, right, to not playing in the McDonald's All-American game.
You got to remember, nobody stays number one from 7th all the way through.
No, that's not true. That's not true, bro.
Go look.
Name the last person who was number one in the 8th grade and wasn't like in the top, didn't go to the McDonald's All-American game. You ain't gonna find that person, dog. You ain't go to the McDonald's All-American game?
I guarantee you can go back and look within the last 3 years.
No way.
Go back and look 4 years ago or 5 years ago. The number one 8th grader.
Look at that. Look that up, y'all.
The number one 8th grader is probably not going to be in the top 10.
No,
or even
McDonald's
the top
All-American.
Yes,
game.
that's not guaranteed, man.
That's
Do you know how much change happens within 5 years?
Right, bro. Listen, you have to watch Mikey Williams highlights
from 8th grade. How old are you in 8th grade? What are you like? 13, 14 maybe?
12, 13, something like that.
And then you get to high school and you're what? Another 4 years? 18, 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much your body can change?
That's true.
How much you can grow?
That's true.
How much skills you pick up, lose? People still
That's
playing,
fair.
don't play.
That's
like,
fair.
yeah, I'm a sports guy. I'm here to tell you.
That's fair.
His drop wasn't because of his game. His drop was because of the off court stuff, right? With this,
yeah, it's kind of game too, though.
No, everyone else just elevated. That's all it was. Some of the players in his class caught up.
If his trajectory is like this, he started to level out.
Yeah, and it happens. It happens.
We got to look that up. We're gonna look that up at some point. Not now, but we're gonna look that up.
He's a great high school player.
Yeah,
and he might be a great college player.
Oh damn, you're not about to say what I think you're about to say.
We don't know. We don't know it, man.
Oh, because he's not. Hold on, you got to say it though. Don't.
We don't know that he's going to be a great pro.
Okay. Oh, so he is making it to the league.
He'll get a shot.
Okay,
I don't know if he'll stay there.
Gotcha.
There's plenty of people that are drafted high and don't stay there. So
that's fair. You know, that's fair.
But I'll say this: I'm happy he gets a second chance at all this.
Right.
He let a lot of people down because he was very well with his media training.
Right.
He was definitely one of those kids that was being put in front of him.
Hold on. You said Mikey is good at media training?
No, he's one of those kids that was media trained. Like
early on, before he started smoking weed and listening to rap.
He had the microphone, the camera in front of his face. Yeah, before all that nonsense.
That changed him. He's changed
a little bit, but I mean, he's one of the guys that kind of had the playbook early. Hey,
for sure.
Don't
hanging out with LeBron.
Yeah, don't mess this up. And he messed it up.
Yeah.
So, but he gets a second chance, and most 9 times out of 10. You people don't get second chances,
bro. Listen, this is no
especially
different.
The way he's getting it right now.
That's right. But
I don't believe this. I can think of is Randy Moss.
Randy? I was gonna say Zion Harmon. But we talking about basketball and we talking about young kids. Zion Harmon's the same thing. You kept up with him, right? No. Same situation. Drugs and hip hop. Drugs and NBA YoungBoy. Zion Harmon, one of the top ranked middle schoolers. Now he ain't making it to the league. Yeah, I hope he
My
can.
Bad, man. Go ahead, man. We're trying to let you in.
But yeah,
what are your thoughts on this whole ordeal? Young kid now gets a second chance at his basketball future.
I agree, and I think it was probably footage.
Tesla.
One would think, in 2023,
it was footage because there is no for them to go all the way down.
Yeah,
I just looked it up while you guys were talking. Mm-hmm. No, that's footage. There is some outlier.
Something helps him out.
Or there is somebody.
Okay. That's fair.
See, if you told me this happened in
footage or somebody.
If this would have happened in 1985, I could believe it. If he's going to UCLA or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the school has enough cachet to police department, sweep this under the rug. Hey,
never comes
attorney,
out.
He'll do whatever. He'll serve community service. We want him to play for the team. I can see it. 2023, I'm like, not
footage,
so much.
I think it's footage or somebody. Footage or somebody. That's way too many charges to just.
It's a lot of charges. It's a lot of charges.
Hey, man.
And he didn't have anybody to snitch on, did he? Or did he?
Nah, he was the one that
He was the only
he's
one?
the only one.
Nah.
He kind of had everything to lose.
Hey, let us know. Hey, do you have any information that I don't know?
No.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of time to just for actually discharging a fire.
Or maybe one of the Memphis boosters is well connected, and maybe they said, "Hey,
in California,
shh."
Yeah.
You never know where somebody went to school.
You don't know somebody goes to school.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Or my cousin goes there.
That's fair.
And Mikey knows my cousin.
That's fair.
And you know what? We want him to sign with our agency
That's fair.
when he declares for the draft. So you know what? Let's make a call.
That's fair.
We owe you one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good point.
We got you on the first contract.
Right.
And it was all done.
You only need to make one.
It was all done. It was all done on the golf course.
Yeah,
and keep in mind, he's already a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
NIL. He's
Already.
a multimillionaire.
All right, yeah. So you only need.
Well, see, I don't know what kind of hit he's taken since.
Oh no, his attorneys are good. We talked about his lawyer already. He got a hole in his
To-
pocket
to-
right now.
To pull that off,
He got a hole in his pocket.
Yeah, you're right. He might be paying it off that one contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You only need one. You only need one, and then everybody
man.
gets paid back.
Right.
I hit you with the Chris Rock joke. I'd rather look guilty at the mall.
Hey, facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts. But hey, man, this is really fun. And for those that don't know, I don't think we even mentioned it to anybody, but on our we had the three of us had an original show idea, and actually we're actually 3/4
Yeah.
3/4.
of,
Yeah,
of that original team. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a little reunion kind of here,
In
man.
a sense, yeah.
But
Yep,
I'm
yep.
not gonna front. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a good
Same
time.
here,
I'm
man.
having
Same
fun,
here.
man, and it's really dope. But I want to finish this segment off. Well, I know you guys might have a few things, but the scary hours, man. What'd y'all think? Scary hours, Drake's scary hours, man.
He did everything Joe told him to.
Bruh, facts. I think it was the best 6 songs in a row that I've heard in years, bro. The best 6, just the scary hours, just the 6 songs that he released extra on top of his For the Dogs or For My Dogs album.
For all the dogs.
For all the dogs.
All the dogs.
And he needs to stop making music videos because they're terrible. Stop with the music videos. But
I actually like first person shooter.
I didn't like it at all.
I thought from a creativity standpoint, from a visual standpoint,
Mhm.
it was the best music video I've seen in a very long
I thought it costed a lot of money.
Of course.
I thought
you saw the money.
I thought Kodak Black's Let Me See was a better music video.
He saw the money.
Was more
you saw the-
creative.
Clearly, they spent the budget.
They spent the budget
Yeah.
on that. Like
There was a lot of money.
I
That's it.
I like the charisma between the two, and I'm just a big Cole fan.
Cole is dope.
Cole
is dope.
He been tearing rappers apart for probably the past 4 years, man.
It's the face of death. Yes, he picked up the face time and saw the face of
I'm
death.
talking about every time he touched the pad.
Everything he said was right. I personally didn't finish it.
The album?
The
6 songs? Those 6 songs are the best 6 rap songs in a while.
I can tell from what I've heard. I can tell that Joe pissed him off, and everybody else pissed him off. And sorry, I cursed. Sorry.
No, you good, bro. You good.
And he
I'll
went
put
in.
an E on this episode.
Yeah, he went in. He went in and said, like, oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna show you that I can. Like he said on the. Did you see the trailer for Scary Hours?
No, I didn't. I
I didn't know there was a trailer.
Yeah, I didn't. know
What
he
was
did.
it? What was?
So it's on YouTube,
And
he has a trailer, and he's walking into a symphony hall,
Mhm.
like a stadium or whatever. He's walking into somewhere, and there's an orchestra there. It's just him. And he's like talking, like he's just like talking in the background. He's like, "Oh, at 40, I thought you know." He was like, "I thought you were done." He's just like, "Yeah, after this one." And then he comes in and he walks in and he just sits down and it's just him in this auditorium, and then they start playing.
Just for the 6 songs, or is that like the reintroduction of the album, the whole album? Because he released the whole album and called it Scary Hours Edition.
No, the trailer says Scary Hours trailer. I think, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I haven't listened to all of them, but the
Those
ones
6
I've heard,
songs won't disappoint.
yeah, the ones I heard, I can say, okay, finally. That's what
Drake on some boom bap.
Even
Yeah,
if
but
these
I
6 songs were, if this was the original version, nobody would have talked crazy about him. Joe Budden would have never had anything to say.
No, but
I don't think Joe
didn't
crazy.
talk crazy.
Well, we know he didn't.
But the thing about it is, it's an honest opinion. Like in this room, when's the last Drake album that slapped?
I like
Possibly
Scorpion.
Views?
I like Scorpion.
Oh no,
I actually liked it because I thought it was personal.
My God.
And then it was the hype of the whole Pusha T situation.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
I think
All my music fans out there know what I'm talking about.
I think it's weird he's still throwing shots at Push
Tick, tick, tick.
this much later, and I'm like, yeah,
It hurt him. He's emotional. He
I-
still throws shots at his high school.
Yeah.
He still does.
that like I haven't heard one that like you can listen consecutively. Like
He don't make music for us. We're around the same age. We're all
I think
we're not the target demographic.
We're not the target, but he had to shift. I understand he had to shift, but
he didn't have to.
He didn't have to, but to get to the level where he was, right? He had to shift.
Got to broaden that demographic,
right? Like, and I think for me is shift, but still give us if you're reading this, it's not too late, right? Like, still give us one of those.
When I see people make shifts like that, I think, okay, inauthentic. I think you're just literally doing it for the bag. It's unlike we just talked about Kanye West and how he was so much into the art that he would essentially give it away for free.
Yeah,
you can't. I don't think Drake is about that. I don't think Drake is capable
as
of
much
that.
as bad as people say. Like, Kanye's off his rocker. Donda is slapped.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
When does he make bad music again?
Like that is. I know he doesn't write. I know he doesn't write.
You're talking about Drake, right?
That's a nice one. That's a nice.
Donda had some heat on it, dog.
Donda has some.
Yes,
that was a fire album, bro.
Like,
I went back and listened to the gospel ones that I missed before, bro. Like when he was wearing the red hat and I swore off of it. I went back.
And I understood. I remember us talking. I understood, and I was like, man, I can't do it. He can say the wildest thing in the world, and I'm just like, I get it. I don't have to agree with none of that, but I'm listening to this music because this shit flames. She's like, sorry, but it's like I subscribe.
Like, but that's the
to the music. That's it.
But Kanye did it creatively. He shifted every time.
And still somehow stayed himself.
Drake
is a new person every.
But regardless of
every album,
but
it
that's
don't
the
come
thing
off
is,
the same.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like every name me a bad Ye album.
Well,
besides Ye.
I don't think they play the same. I don't think they play the same game.
Ye was that was a bad.
I don't think they play the same game as one's an innovator. I think one is trying to push.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The limits of whatever the genre he's touching or messing with, whereas one is trying to be a hit maker, and make hits to amass.
Well, he's not doing a good job.
Well, he's a J Prince investment too, so you just gotta get it out there.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job.
No.
Still on top though, so I mean,
is he?
I was about to say, is he?
Yeah. No, he's still.
I think
he's
somebody
still.
Else got it.
Is it a diminished product? Is it as good as it used to be? Absolutely not. But
I know
it's still
I know he didn't sell 1.5 million on re-release music.
When's the last time?
When's
the last time he's done that?
No, that's what I'm saying is I know,
but that might be the only person.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm alluding to. That's what I'm alluding.
That's the only person that's ever made him move a release date, and that makes sense in my mind.
Right,
because
Burna Boy might have too, though.
That is the top.
Burna Boy did too. Shout out to Burna Boy.
Music that's still out there, and I'm listening to your 2023 voice.
That's wild.
And I still put up numbers.
That's wild. Yeah.
1.5 million in 1 week.
I heard my first I accidentally clicked on Taylor Swift today because there was something I saw on Apple Music.
Accidentally.
I didn't
know what it sounded like.
I don't see the hype, bro.
Well, it ain't
I know. I don't disagree with nothing. I don't disagree with nothing.
So here's the thing,
I just don't see it.
For my daughter, I play like pop. Her in the car. I don't listen to hip hop. I don't.
For your daughter, sure.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, listen. Hey. I drive a Tesla. Right?
Real brothers with daughters.
So brothers with daughters.
And the album she just re-released, it came on.
It
slaps.
So you like it?
Like it's something.
You said it slaps though.
It's something good to listen to. Like if
salute.
you hear,
I'm not saying I don't think she makes good music. But what I'm saying is like. I don't think her music resonates across like all borders. Where like I can walk into Publix and hear Michael Jackson playing or any type of department store, and that particular pop music is going to play. I just don't. I think
that particular album does, and I think you've heard those songs.
It may not even recognize,
and you don't recognize it.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, like
fair enough.
That because that's her biggest album.
Okay, fair enough.
What is it? 1987, I think.
7?
Yeah,
is she that old? 1989.
Or
it's wild, man. Because I just be like, damn. Taylor doesn't dance. I'm not like I don't resonate with none of.
She's rail thin.
Yeah, I don't resonate with any of her videos. I don't feel
she's
like her
rail thin.
I can't say that any type of performance I've ever seen.
Yeah, 89.
Where I've been like, oh my gosh, she's done something I've never seen before.
She's rail thin.
Like I just don't look at her and be like, man, she pushing the the genre like Mike did.
She's skinny mini.
I just don't.
No, I 100%
Travis
agree.
Kelsey took an L and took a W at the same time. How does that work?
Yeah.
He took an L and a W at the same time. Wow.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be.
Those numbers of the jersey. That's the,
Yeah, man.
you know what I mean?
And the league is eating too.
That was all fake anyway. So.
Yeah, that whole the NFL is Swifties, man. The NFL should be ashamed of themselves.
The
Bro.
NFL is a business.
The NFL should be ashamed of themselves.
They let you know first,
man.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not for long and not for no fun league. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like you said, the NFL. What is it? Not for long, or what you said?
The no fun league.
The no fun league. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of shifts or swifts that have been happening within the game itself. But I don't watch the NFL anymore, so it don't really pertain to me, so to speak. But either way, getting back to that whole situations with Scary Hour, I thought it was fire. I thought it was fire. We'll see if Buddy does take a break or if this reinvigorates, because he might have called the right ghostwriter. It could literally be that. He might have called the right person.
I'll tell him take a break.
Take a break.
It's nothing wrong with taking a break.
Same.
But man, this has been fun. I feel like this has been a heck of a marathon, and rightfully so, because like I said, 3/4 of the original, literally the original crew, man. That was so long ago.
Yeah,
salute. I'm so happy. This has been very fun. I'm glad you fellas were able to contribute to the show today. It's gonna be fun editing this. It's gonna be pretty easy, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a 3-hour episode. I ain't do a 3-hour episode in like 15 episodes or something like that. It hasn't been a 3-hour episode, but we'll see how long everything else is. But yeah, man. Anything else you guys want to add or anything like that? What's up, man? No name. Go ahead.
I'm a listener.
Yes,
right.
right. Salute.
Right. So
people have been sending their year-end wrap-ups with the show on there, like top 3. Like I'm like, yo, the show. Yeah, I mean, the Spotify thing.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
But yeah, but go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So the last time you guys were on,
Right.
you guys had a topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I felt that what you guys were saying wasn't incorrect, but I think we would be remiss as a people of history.
Okay.
Fidel Castro.
Okay, please, let's go.
No, it's not a lot. I'm not.
That's my guy.
What about him?
So
the legend.
All I would say is,
Mhm.
if you talk about the stuff, right, that he did, like the universal healthcare, like a lot of the stuff. So I have a cousin
Mhm.
that lives in Jamaica that went to Cuba and got his medical degree and everything like that. So he's now a doctor and
cool.
Remember, I was talking
about
that.
So
referenced it. So that's how I know.
Yeah.
But I would be remiss if I didn't for allowing for the audience to say, yes, there is that side, but there's also the side of the oppression to the people that live there, to the not being able to do anything. That's all. That's the only thing is we have to be respectful of your platform.
You either die a hero
Or live
long enough to see yourself become a villain. There is nobody that has held power for any prolonged period of time. Nobody in probably the history of man or humanity that has been loved forever.
No, I agree to that, but what I'm saying is to add that into what we were talking about, right? Can't it's almost like if we were to talk about
Andrew Jackson, Henry Kissinger, the people we already talked about. What you mean?
Right? If we were to bring up
a
a moment in time and not remember, so I quickly thought of segregation or something like that. Someone can easily say. Yeah, someone can easily say, "Look, what are you talking about? It was a great time." Well, not for us,
not for black people.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think that was my only thing of
more of the full scope.
Yeah, exactly. Because it would have came when listening to it, it came across as do your research, and that's another thing too.
I want people to do their research.
Do the research, but I can research something that proves my point. Right.
Yeah.
If I know what I'm looking for, I can, even though I'm totally wrong,
I can find some numbers.
I can find something.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, when you say do your research, go to reputable sites, verify. Don't look for your opinion.
Right. Listen, for anybody that may have been confused or may have dealt with different information in regards to, because I've literally got into conversation or I wouldn't even call it dispute, but respectful conversation with people who literally, I think I even mentioned it like last episode. People who have relatives or grandmothers from Cuba, and they were giving their perspective. And these are what we would call now white Cubans, but they're giving their perspective, and it's never positive. It's never positive, but there's a reason for that. I believe from me learning from reading books from tenured professors, adjunct professors, Cuban dissidents, Cuban residents, and mind you, we're in America.
Yes.
So there's people that we're trained to believe certain people who disagree with our way of life are villains. Is that always the truth? No, but it is what it is. But in regards to Fidel Castro, Freedom of Information Act, you can look up the CIA, you can look up the FBI records. You can actually see what was going on with Fidel Castro. And like I said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. This guy, they attempted many times to kill this guy.
Yes.
Right? The biggest thing people say, oh, he limited food. People don't realize that they were actually poisoning the food. Right? A lot of the beef stock, people always talk about not having beef or cows in Cuba. That's because a lot of them were poisoned because that's how badly they wanted to kill Fidel Castro. Cuba was America's playground at that time in the 50s. It was America's playground, and he took that from them. And if you're talking to somebody who my ancestors are Haitian, you know what I'm saying? So I know what happens to people. I know what happens to countries, people, individuals, whatever the case is when you stand up to empire. It's never good, and you're always demonized. So when I say research, I'm trying to get people to understand that I know we have our boxes and our bubbles and stuff like that, but you got to understand, yes, there is another box and bubble, but there's also that thing that's closer to the truth.
Yes.
And what's more likely is this guy was made paranoid, right? This guy, there were so many attempts on his life. Did he do things that we look at as oh man, that's kind of crazy? Yeah, some people were killed. Absolutely. Where does that not exist? Because we can live in a real reality type world where real things happen and we deal with them like real, like we deal with them with a sense of reality in our heads, or we just have this like imaginary reality, like, oh, everything's peaches and cream. It's either you said it earlier, right? There's no black and white.
No.
It's too much gray, dog.
Yeah.
It's too much gray.
Well,
bro.
I think
it's too much gray. That's why I say people research, because there's research to be done.
So that's what I mean. It's like if you
I get what you're saying though too.
Talk, right? Like it's like, hey,
his point is that other side.
The other side. We didn't
because they don't represent us.
Well, it's not even.
They don't represent us.
Well, not even that.
Like Israel and Palestine.
It's not having to say like it would be more so of like if you
arguing for Israel, man.
Sum it up, right? Sum it up of
you'll lose all your endorsements.
Do
everything
when you research, because I can easily, I think what my point is, hey,
go ahead, bro.
Regardless of how you feel about the man, there is this is the way I stand, but there is some people that will be on the left side. It's acknowledging it.
That's 100% true.
I think it's just it's acknowledging the aspect.
That's absolutely
of it.
True. We're in a country that has Republicans and Democrats.
Exactly. I think what my standpoint is acknowledging that side of it too, and then having the people do their research to reputable, like to some journals and some stuff like that, to understand both sides and then come to their own conclusion.
Yeah.
Why was he pushed to that side? Why was he pushed to? Why did he do this? Why did he limit food? Why did he whatever? Limit. I'm doing air quotes.
Right. Yeah, he didn't limit food. There was no food. There was embargoes placed. So
put on. Right.
They were killing livestock, and nobody was allowed to do business with them. As somebody that was in Cuba, they were eating a lot of seafood, a lot of crab legs, a lot of this and that, because that's what the ocean gave them. They didn't have a lot of imports at all because nobody was allowed to work with them. That's what an embargo is.
Yes. So what, and then have them come to their own realization of what that is. That's how I kind of I think that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
And you know what? Aspect of it. And I love and respect you so much for this, because one thing people got to understand is this is a time capsule. Right? This is an audio visual time capsule from a human perspective addressed to the future. Okay? So everything in here, like one thing I demand, one thing I request is honesty. Our true thoughts, your true thoughts, whatever you're thinking, however you're feeling, hopefully with a little bit of research. But this ain't no show to pander. It ain't no show to, like when you said lose all your. This is an audio time capsule. This is a human perspective, bro.
All
we
these endorsements.
Bro, we ain't looking to. That's not the point of this. We ain't looking to lie. We ain't looking to make somebody pepper somebody's steak up. We ain't looking to do none of that, bro.
No.
This is from a real person's perspective for what in the future may not be real. You know what I mean? So, bro, we didn't, and like I said, I appreciate it because this also goes into that time capsule, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and we definitely want to say that the nuances are very important because that's what it is.
Yes.
That's a nuance. That's like because a lot of people don't realize that Castro actually was fighting for. He was one of the leaders of the student rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, against not Trujillo, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head. The dictator that was in charge. And y'all know, y'all can look that up. But it was a student rebellion against a dictator. All right, Castro was one of the leaders. Spent 11 years in prison, got out, went around the world parlaying for help and support, came back, led the revolt, and finished it.
And then he became the dictator.
And then you begin, bro. And yeah, exactly. Because you can't win for losing. You can't win for losing.
And that's what I mean by
full scope.
But check it out. Put yourself in them shoes.
No.
Let's do a thought experiment. Put yourself in those shoes.
We're not saying it's bad.
What I'm saying is the fact is a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He got rid of one dictator and then became the dictator.
Now, he was probably a better dictator than the previous
dictator.
But he's still a dictator. That's all I'm saying. It's like no.
What's the Tom Hanks movie? You see me? I'm captain now.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
What's that called again? Somali. I can't remember.
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips. Yeah.
Right?
No. There's definitely nuance.
Yeah,
yes,
and I think
you are absolutely right.
I think that's the aspect of it, right? It all goes back to we all have opinions. We all gonna feel a certain way. I might like there were some other things like you guys were talking about like China and all that, but that's we coming to an end. But a lot of those stuff it's against nuance.
I got like 2 more segments. Scrap metal media is coming to it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like so I think that aspect of it, right? Like,
that's fair. Right. But that's the nuances of humanity. That's the complexities.
Yeah.
Right. But I keep saying, and this is something I came up with, but there's no objective truth anymore. It's can you get closer to the truth?
Yes.
And even though, like I said, we understand that there's nuance there, I still believe there's something that's closer to the truth.
Yes.
Is it closer to the truth that he was a monster that just wanted to kill everybody and limit food and keep it all for himself and just no? Is that closer to the truth, or is it closer to the truth of you made a lot of powerful entities really upset and you've been we talking about CIA, all that kind of, you've been made paranoid. Nobody like you, and in that you made a lot of enemies. A lot of the expats and people that left, they hate you. They want to see you fail.
Yep.
So I just think that's complex, but I feel like I know that's closer to the truth than the opposite. Yeah. But there's tons of stories we can talk all day about that, man. But I agree. Definitely, I appreciate that. I appreciate that for sure.
That's all I have, man.
Yeah, I felt like I thought you had more. I don't know.
Nah, man, I wasn't like
keep it coming.
There's no challenges.
Nah, this is No Name's first time on the show, man. I love it.
That's not that bad. I did think it was gonna be worse. I
thought you were gonna come worse. I thought worse.
I was like, okay.
I think what it is I respect the platform. I'm a true listener. It's one of those stuff. It's like the growth of it, right? Like
Episode 34.
I am one of those of like, just tell the truth, good, bad, and indifferent, right? Like, let's see both sides and let the person decide which one they want to go on, that's right? And I think that's where how I am. It's like
respect.
I'm like, there is one. If I'm ventured to come back, there's one where I want to challenge.
Come on, man.
Challenge
of
you
course.
on is. I'm for the corporations.
evil corporations.
And I know that comes up.
Evil corporations.
I told you, I've listened to all.
He's on it.
He's on
evil
it.
corporations.
And I want to come in here. I want to come in here, and I want to be. I want to be that.
Bro, I'm hypocritical. I got on Adidas. I got on. Well, I love Jerry Lorenzo, but I got. Come on, like we're brainwashed. I'm brainwashed like everybody else.
I'm ready to hear that.
Right, because so we gonna say that.
That was fun. We can say.
I want to hear that. I would love to hear that.
Like that.
We can start off the new year with that.
He's the you have to enlighten me on that.
Like
Most of the evil in the world comes from
corporations.
Yeah,
so I'm
greed,
like,
money.
which corporations you talking about? I would love to know.
And I think
bro.
it's a necessary
It's a lot of corporations.
evil.
bro.
It's a necessary-
I know
It's not
that.
a necessary evil.
I would love to know how
it's a necessary
I would
evil.
love to know his defense.
It is a necessary
He don't really got
evil.
one.
I do.
He
It's a
got
necessary
one, dog.
evil.
You remember
because
Alec,
it's done.
right? Disney. I ain't gonna, no, you're no name. I forgot. You're no name. But Disney, for those that don't know, was one of the companies that was a part of ALEC. ALEC. Look up ALEC, people. Again, this is closer to the truth. ALEC was a conglomeration of companies that was actually. You think your senator is the one making the laws? ALEC was in charge of actually creating legislation to benefit them and other corporations, right?
Yes.
Imagine the light bulb situation back in the day where light bulbs were made so great that they worked damn near forever. Then the light bulb organizations
came together.
came together and they said, "Hey, we are making these things too good." They sat around that round table.
We need
and said,
we need
to make them trash.
You know who that was, right?
Who? Oh,
J.P.
Bell.
Morgan.
Morgan?
J.P. Morgan, because he bought General
Electric.
Electric. General
GE,
Electric was
that's right.
that had Edison working.
So how you disagreeing with me, dog?
Listen to me. What I'm saying is,
said necessary.
How the hell
it's
he
a
disagreeing with
necessary
me, dog?
evil because
No,
of the
light
way
bulbs
our-
could have been made perfect.
No, it's a necessary evil because there's too many things set up in the way we are set up to run the United States. It is a necessary evil because it's the only thing that pushes us forward. If everything just works, there is no evolution.
Innovation?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we have instead more waste.
I disagree.
More inequality.
Disagree.
We have more deaths. Because
Let's go.
don't get me started on banana wars, but this is gonna be a fun
Another episode.
This is gonna be a fun
Another
conversation
episode.
for another day. all right?
Listen. I'm here.
This is gonna be a fun conversation. Bro. This happens all the time, right?
I just
like
want-
people, including you. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
many
no,
people coming to me like, "Yo, that guy, I don't agree with," or "Oh, yo, I agree. He was right." I'm gonna have a few people saying different things.
It is
for
a
sure,
necessary
for sure.
evil.
And what's his name? Who is he? He's
It's
so
a
mysterious.
It's a necessary evil. That's all I'm saying. It's a necessary.
I don't believe
evil
in
for
necessary
what
evil.
yes, it's a necessary evil that we need
Mm.
because of the way we were constructed from the beginning.
You mean with slavery and all that kind of stuff, right?
Stop. We gonna stop.
All right, yeah. Let's stop.
Because I want to know more. I'm gonna start asking questions. I'm gonna start poking it and be like, what you mean over here?
Hey, man.
Mhm.
I think that's it for the best news show y'all ever heard. Yes, this is Scrap Metal Media. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. All right, let's move right on. I think I want to go to bit by bit. We'll see. All right, that's it, y'all. Peace.
Please.
This ain't just a prediction. This is bit by bit. The bit by bit prediction of the day is: Dear Future Robots will become a staple, a household name when podcasts and shows are concerned, a titan in this industry. Guess they say you got to speak it into existence, right? I've been working to grow what started off as just an idea. This was a thought. The name, the concept, the layout, everything, even the things I'm still tweaking, I created. I have fun doing this. I hope y'all appreciate that. Definitely have some great things coming. Definitely have some great partnerships coming. I'm excited for it. I think 2024 is going to be an even bigger year than 2023 was. I know. That's all I got for the time capsule today, y'all. Peace. And we are just universes crashing. Just do your best to leave a mark. Also, subscribe, comment, and leave 5 stars. This is Wendy, signing off. Dear Future Robots, peace.